Kid tied up, a skate, got him, and scores! Brady Tkachuk wins it in overtime for Ottawa.
Welcome back, Plugs and Thugs, episode 89. How's it going, guys?
What's that?
A little bit late start today.
Yes, sir.
Good? And as you can see, Berkey's on today. Brad, welcome on again.
Oh, wait, hold on.
What's up?
We'd like to announce a guest on the stream today.
Hold on. Let's introduce ourselves first.
As always, give us all the follows, the YouTube, the Twitch, the Twitter, the Facebook, I already said YouTube.
They're all right here.
YouTube, they're all there. Whatever I forgot, Alex put here. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah. All across the bottom.
Hey, Dave.
Hey,
But
Zach.
as always, Daniel.
Alex.
Oh, I'm Zach.
And I'm Dave.
That's all right.
And,
We really fucked
with
up
us-
already 'cause- Go ahead, Alex. You do the intro.
Oh,
now.
okay, sorry. With us is a very special guest tonight, buddy of ours from the Neutral Zone Hockey League, resident Avs fanatic, and Nathan McKinnon's secret girlfriend,
Oh, and don't forget a part of the NZ media team.
and a part of the NZ media team.
Yes.
Our buddy, Babyface Berkey.
Babyface Berkey. I like it.
Brad.
Babyface
Hello, Brad.
Brad. This is not NZ. He gets a real name now.
His last name is actually Babyface Berkey. It's on his birth certificate.
Yeah, it is.
I've seen it.
That was super
welcome
interesting.
on.
I just burped while I was ripping a vape.
That's awful.
That was
That's got to
It's like-
be
no,
terrible.
but like I was coming in and burping out at the same time. That was crazy.
And there goes every
talented.
viewer for this episode.
That was
No.
nuts.
No, they haven't had time to join yet, so that's okay.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's fine.
So what the
Again.
fuck is cracking, boys?
Not a whole
Yeah.
goddamn lot.
Yeah, not much. It's Monday.
Dude, that was the most hectic
long
Monday
Monday.
ever for me, dude.
That
I
bad,
agree.
huh?
Yeah.
Dude, I had 2 LG games, 2 OCHL games, then I have this. I haven't gotten up from this chair all day.
You're a busy man, dude.
And work.
You're a wanted
You didn't
man.
even mention all day at work, right?
Yep, all day at work.
Yeah. I
You
hear
should just
you on
do
that
sleeping
one.
in the chair, bro. Save yourself some time. You could save like 30 seconds between getting up and sitting down.
Ah!
He
Stretch
literally
over
could
here.
just be a dick and just roll out of his chair and just land on his bed. It'd be fine.
Pretty
Do that
much,
as
right?
well. Shout out to Scott. I think he's having rig and internet problems right now. So I
Yes.
just wanted to
Yeah.
say hello to Scott. I miss you
You're
and
in
I
our
miss your
thoughts,
musk,
bro.
bro.
Yeah, he will officially be back next week. Cracking
Hell
one
yeah.
open for the boys. There's
Salute,
Lazar.
buddy
What's
boy.
up, buddy?
Getting those
Mhm.
electrolytes, player.
Still underage.
Still
Oh, yes.
underage.
I forget that. Excuse me.
Oh yeah,
That's right,
forgot.
though.
Yeah.
You can still
I'll be
do that.
legal in like in 2 weeks actually.
There it is.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Any
nice.
plans?
So we'll have to have Brad on after.
But what's
you can
Canadian
put
legal limit?
Oh, yeah.
In Ontario, it's 19.
Oh,
Oh, so you're only 18?
Yeah.
Oh, you're a fucking baby. All right.
And
man.
with
Yeah.
that being
Babyface
said,
With that
Brad.
being said, bye.
Yeah.
He's 18. It's fine.
We
Someone
don't know
get
this
that
yet.
guy a beer.
TOC.
It's got to be Tanner. Berkey's cute.
Thanks, Sarge.
But yeah,
Definitely
we
want
have hockey.
to. I definitely want to mention the plugs, though. As we said in the neutral zone, you can follow us on all the social medias. You can follow us also, Neutral Zone Hockey League. Season 4 is about to start.
Deserve.
We
Big
didn't.
league.
We capped signups. So sorry if you haven't signed up yet. That's your fault. We've been.
no, you still
Up in
have a
that-
chance to get in.
I mean,
you
there's
do.
literally a bot that tells you every fucking day to sign up.
Every 12 hours.
All right. Yes, you are correct. You can still sign up, but at this point, you'd be randomly assigned. There are going to be a couple more. There's going to be 2 auctions, and then you'd get randomly assigned. Whatever. Anywho, you can also follow me and Dave on Zach and Dave Make a Podcast.
Yes. The Zadmap _69 on Instagram. Same goes for Twitter. It's because we're so stupid.
And we're
not
mature.
we're not very mature at all, actually. I'm going to stop saying that.
And Alex, what do you want to plug?
I want to plug
Yeah.
the new In the Neutral Zone spin-off project, Dungeons and Dummies.
yeah.
Now record a new episode coming 2 weeks from now. If you don't know what I'm talking about because I haven't blown up your news feed with it enough, the Dungeons and W's podcast is a podcast with mine and Joe's friend Jeremy. That Joe, who is by extension friends with me and Daniel,
Rocket.
yeah, and the world's best looking 40-year-old man.
I'd definitely stand up 6 and 9 with them for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Who's carrying who? I don't know who's taller. He does CrossFit, so he probably could take you.
He's in a carry me.
He's like in the upper echelon of like
So,
fitness. So
Jeremy, who's a seasoned dungeon master in Dungeons and Dragons, and myself, who's the only seasoned veteran player of the group, decided to sit down, get a bunch of these degenerates together, and see what we could throw down with. And our first session was yesterday. I think it was largely successful. So yeah,
I thought it was
episode-
comedic
I will-
gold. I'll be honest with you.
I'm the
it was
outsider on this one, and I will say it was an absolute blast to watch. It was
You're
fun.
an outsider for now, but when Drake
Yeah, I
kills
know.
himself in episode 2, we're gonna need a replacement.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was fun to watch. Even if somebody doesn't like, I still wouldn't even consider myself somebody that really
Shout
played.
out to
Played it a couple times, but
Drake for intimidating that youngling, but whatever, or the halfling.
Yeah, shout out to Jeremy for everything he does and everything he tolerates.
Great.
yes.
Anywho,
Anywho,
We have hockey to talk about, guys.
With
You
that
have-
being
we have quite
said,
being said, good night.
we have quite a bit of hockey to talk about.
Yeah, we always do. But I do want to think, by the way, Alex and I talked beforehand. We didn't end up picking teams, but we'll do that right now, like after I get through the question.
Off the cuff.
Our buddy Osswald, and listener for a while now, had a really good topic for us to discuss. I know it's come up kind of randomly the last, I don't know, a couple of months, but we really spent any time on it. But he had a good topic that we can actually spread out, and Alex came up with a really good idea to enhance that. He asked us to do a couple of teams, maybe every week, and kind of pick who a couple of these teams each week, and who we think they're going to protect for the upcoming expansion draft. And Alex actually took it a step further and said we can do it as a 4-part thing, which might be better and take some more time for the podcast because we want to spin it mostly on what listeners are giving us. So we're going to do it in by division. So we'll pick a division today, and we'll kind of go through who we think they're going to protect for the upcoming expansion draft.
I think a shorter list would be who they're gonna expose.
Or expose. Yes, you're right.
Yes.
Yes, same thing. Sorry. That's probably easier to do, but that was a very good topic that Osswald brought up this morning. And I think it's something that we can, get some time out of and will actually be really interesting. And it's kind of cool that Brad is on as well. And actually that makes it pretty easy. I think with Brad being on this week, we probably should focus on our Western Division because he's Colorado, where we got King's knowledge, and then obviously, the rest of the division.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Zach.
morning.
Oh yes,
Morning.
we did not do a morning because we did not see Osswald. We saw Imagine.
Morning.
That's it. A morning Osswald.
Fucking Millsy, you're an idiot, dude.
What do you do?
He just tagged me in chat and said, "What the fuck?" I was like, "What?" He was like, "You said you would stand up 69 to 40-year-old man." I would, dude. Oh, what the fuck?
He's
so
over.
would
Watch
Millsy.
that
He just keeps
podcast,
it to
dude.
himself.
Watch
Nope.
that podcast. You'll see how hot that dude is.
I know he
Joe's
does.
a
He needs to check in. Joe's a man rocket. So yeah, I mean, do we want to start with that one? Do we want a couple minutes to?
Let's start with that, man.
Let's
But
lead it off,
let's just go through each team of the
Yes.
I have an idea actually.
Yes.
Let's
All right.
have Berkey lead off
All right.
with the
Colorado.
Colorado
Hold on.
Avalanche.
Okay,
yeah.
you guys want to go like that? Okay.
All right.
Well, yeah, we can
so
just go team by team.
the thing is with the Avs is that they have a very expensive contract with Eric Johnson that they have to get rid of. They have to either they have to get him to waive his NMC, or they just have to buy him out. That'll just open up because they have so much talent up on forward and on the back end. So right now they're looking at exposing either Ryan Graves, Tyson Jost, JT Comfort, or Jonas Donskoy.
Interesting. I mean, I would totally assume that all of those guys will definitely be on that list. Don't think they're going to get anybody to take Eric Johnson. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, you'd have to waive too, right? Because he has the
Yeah.
You'd
Or
have
they
to
just
wait.
buy him out.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then you can sign as a free agent.
So, well, just to elaborate, just because I know you're very knowledgeable on, hockey and especially the Avs, which way do you think they're going to expose? I know there's two different routes you can take on, the positions. What is it? It's however many defensemen or goalies you're going to expose. Is that what it is?
Yeah, you
Okay.
can only protect one goalie. So
Yeah.
I'm assuming they're going to protect Grubauer after he's playing unreal right now. And Francouz is dead. No one knows what's wrong with him. So they have a couple options. The Avs are pretty strapped for cap space, and they have big UFA signings coming up, including Makar, Landeskog, and Grubauer this summer. So you could look at exposing someone like Jonas Donskoy, who's making $3.9 million. You could look at exposing JT Compher, who's making 3.5, who's also underperforming this year. So that could be another reason. You could look at Ryan Graves, who they just gave, I think, pretty sure a 3-year deal to at the end of last season. But they have a couple of options, and they're just going to kind of let the season play its course, and then we'll see how it goes.
See, like what Sargent said right here, like no Makar, so Graves is boots Magoo. You would have to assume that Seattle will take him. You know what I mean? I mean, he is a good left-handed defense. He's a good young left-handed defenseman, but
I disagree. There's an alternative course of action here, and that's possibly Colorado exposing Devon Taves.
No.
Even though they
Devon
just acquired him.
Devon
Oh,
Taves
that's
is
happening.
a top pairing defenseman. He's about to play 28 minutes tonight because they're missing Makar, Gerard, or Makar, Byram, and Johnson. They're running.
He's what? He's on a 4-year, like 4 by like 4.3?
4.1.
4.1.
Yeah, 4.1. But it's still, I mean, I agree. I think they acquired Taves because they wanted, wanted to throw him on that top line.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
The Avs have a very new school top pairing. They don't have these big guys that can log minutes. They have that's what Joe Sakic is great at. He's built a defense around guys that can move the puck and guys that can skate. And right there, you have Graves as the massive outlier. Graves' foot speed is not up to par. He's probably the slowest on the Avs right now, especially the defense. Even some of the guys on the taxi squad are faster. No, they're not exposing Taves.
No,
Yeah,
there's no way.
I agree
Especially
with that.
considering-
No, go ahead. Go ahead, Brett.
Especially considering they gave up 2 first-round pick or 2 seconds for him. You got to protect him. The Avs went out and got him.
That
for
and
a
to add
reason.
on to your point, I mean, obviously they spent the capital on him. He's locked up for 4 years, and you throw in the fact that usually when you're coming over to a new team, if you're going to have any struggles, it's going to be early, and he has had 0 struggles. I know because he's on my fantasy team. He's been an absolute monster, and he's fit right into exactly like you said. He fits what they're trying to do. And he didn't even have the transition was just immediate. So obviously he likes what's going on there. He's doing,
he does.
and he fits just what needs to happen. There's no.
Here's an interesting name that you can add to the list for the Avs that nobody's really brought up yet. Sam Gerard. He's kind of the odd man out here as far as left-handed defenseman.
No, he's not.
He's too good to play third pairing minutes, bro.
He's not playing. He's going to be in the top 4. The top 4 for the future is going to be Makar, Byram, top pair, and then it's going to be Taves and Gerard. And then they're going to get whoever to fill out. Eric Johnson, end of his tail end of his career. You have Justin Barron coming up soon. You got Drew Hallison, who performed well in the World WJCs. They have a bunch of guys that are there. Gerard's not going anywhere unless it's a massive trade, aka Sidney Crosby coming to the Colorado Avalanche. And even then, I would still be opposed to getting rid of Gerard.
I mean, you guys have Connor Timmins coming up as well, right?
He's a right shot.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, though. You would want a right shot on the right side, wouldn't you?
No, the Avs play very loose with sides and pairings. Like the only time you really see the Avs will. This is what Bednar is great at. He will always find when to play the correct players. If there's a face-off in the offensive zone, you'll see Makar and Gerard out there. If it's in the defensive zone, you'll see a couple defensive guys. The thing with Connor Timmins is his foot speed is the same. It's better than Ryan Graves, but it's still not anywhere near his foot speed. He's got to play really smart. He can't get behind on the play. He's a rookie defenseman. You remember, like, Colorado's had these two great rookie defensemen and had great years so far in Makar and Byram, who's not as good as Makar's rookie year, but being a rookie defenseman in the NHL is hard. And he's realizing that.
Who would you say out of that defensive core is like the crown jewel? Because I want to say Makar, and I think you guys would agree.
Yes,
it's Kale.
Oh yeah,
100%. Without question.
Defensive. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to take anything away from Bo and Byram, but like defensemen are always hyped up, like in drafts and stuff like that. And then sometimes you get, sometimes you don't. You know what I mean? Like because defensemen take a while to develop and stuff like that, and actually grow into their bodies and become NHL defensemen.
True.
Even though Bowen Byram was like slated as such a high-end elite prospect, like I just don't think he has what it takes to surpass Makar. Makar's just a stud.
No, I think
Makar does so many things right. He's such a good skater.
Makar, in terms of purely being a defenseman, I think has all the makings of a potential generational defensive player.
Yes,
I agree. And I mean,
he hasn't reached it yet, but he's knocking on the door damn close at 20 years old.
And he's the front runner for the Norris right now.
Yeah,
for sure, 100%.
Did you? I know Brad saw it, but did you happen to see the video, GIF, or live? The viral. Well, it was a viral GIF from NHL. His skating, they're just like Makar
at the blue line
skating the way, where
it was that blue line play.
Stutter stepped somebody and just didn't lose any speed at all.
He's done that twice now.
Somebody just came over. And back. Yeah,
you're not seeing a lot of defensemen making that type of move with pressure at the blue line, and for the most part, skating backwards.
The only other person that you can think of is. Is Quinn Hughes. Quinn Hughes is elusive like that, but Quinn Hughes isn't as good in the defensive zone.
I don't think Quinn Hughes also offensively is as crafty in his one-on-one play as Makar is.
Well, he's not as big.
I feel where Hughes excels versus where Makar excels is Makar is a more complete defenseman, whereas Hughes is more your number one power play quarterback. Not to say that Makar isn't, but I feel like Hughes maybe from a playmaking standpoint purely has a little bit more upside than Makar, but Makar's all-around game is just way more.
For sure.
It's a difference between it's a difference between like an offensive straight defenseman and then you have a full complete package. Like look at what Erik Karlsson was before his injury. You have that in Makar.
It's not before his injury. It's before he came into a division where they play actual physical hockey.
Yeah, this is true.
So moving on,
he can't hang.
Moving on to Minnesota. Who do you guys think? Who do you think they're going to protect?
Well, Suter for sure. Suter's going to retire.
Yeah, they have
Suter's
to.
going to retire a while.
They have to. I think he's an NMC. I see them protecting Jared Spurgeon.
Yeah.
Definitely see them protecting Spurgeon. I think who they expose though. Fuck.
I feel like this is gonna be controversial. They're gonna say like Dumba or something like that.
No, they won't do that.
They'll trade Dumba before they expose him.
No one's gonna give Dumba away.
We've already talked about him being on the trade block potentially.
Well, that's been for like 3 seasons though.
I
mean, you ideally, if I'm the general manager, I want to expose Jonas Brodin, but then I signed him to such a dumb fucking contract with an NMC on it that now I'm stuck with him. Honestly, man, for me, in terms of, I'm just going to go with who Seattle's going to pick as opposed to who they're going to expose and just shortline my list.
That actually might be easier.
I think the easiest pick is going to be Jordan Greenway.
You think they expose him?
I think
he's a first round pick for the Wild, bro. They ain't gonna fucking expose him.
He's 6'6", 241. That's a big ass fucking body.
Yeah, I think they do. I think
they expose Marcus Foligno. They expose fucking Mads. I think if they pick up any, they either pick up Rask or they pick up Zuccarello.
Bonino maybe.
Zuccarello has an NMC.
Yeah, it's gonna be Bonino or Rask, and I'm fairly certain they're gonna take Rask
or Dumba. They can't. Unless they go for defensemen.
Yeah, I think
they're already locked into 3 of their defensemen.
I think they move Dumba instead of
They're going to
expose
move
him.
him. I think they finally do it. We talked about it right before the season, I believe.
If they do, then absolutely they keep Greenway. I just feel like there's a few teams that are going to be on this list as we go through the next few episodes where it doesn't seem like the logical choice, but it becomes the only choice by elimination with some of the contracts that some of these teams have. Like some of these teams are doomed to lose player, be it a top pairing D-man, a top 6 forward, or a starting goalie, just because of how their contracts are built.
Yeah,
Look what happened with Vegas, bro. They didn't lose. Vegas didn't take any top tier players, bro. They're built out of second and third liners.
Yeah.
Everyone's protecting their top tier fucking talent, dude.
as they should.
Yeah. Well, they're definitely exposing talent.
Don't roll your fucking eyes at me, Alex.
I never rolled my eyes. I agreed. I went like this. I agreed.
Yeah, I actually saw something on this.
Passive aggressively agreed.
I actually saw something on this today. That they might ask
I disagree with that, Oz.
That's only if they don't move him.
I think Suter retires a member of the Minnesota Wild.
I don't think Suter's gonna waive his NMC to go to.
That doesn't necessarily mean that he can't come back. Sign an end of year or an end of career last hurrah with the Wild to retire a Wild.
He's not going to spend 3 or 4 years in Seattle, bro. He's not going to. He's going to stay in Minnesota. Moving on to the Blues. Who do the Blues protect?
Can we just about their goalies? I'm assuming they're protecting Kakinen.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. They're going to expose Talbot. That's for sure.
Yeah,
that's a foregone conclusion.
A lot of teams signed goalies this offseason for this specific. And that's why you saw so many goalies with 2-year deals so that they can expose them.
How interesting! I didn't even realize that.
They're going to expose Talbot. Do you think they actually take him though?
No, there's too many good tandems in the league.
There's too many better goalies. Yeah.
They're going to take Braden Holtby for sure,
as they should.
The St. Louis Blues. Who do you think gets taken from the St. Louis Blues?
Yeah,
that's tough. I feel like the Blues are one of those teams that could potentially lose out, not on a guy that's necessarily like a solid top 6 prospect, but a guy that really hasn't panned out. Like a prospect that hasn't panned out, like a young-ish guy who hasn't hit the expectations.
I don't think they have any youngish guys on that team.
The only guys
they have quite a few.
Are Kyrou and Thomas, and they're going to protect both of them.
Sundqvist is also an option.
They might expose somebody like let's see. Well,
Zach Sanford. They might expose him. They might expose Marcos. They might expose Marco Scandella.
Just looking at
any chance they do Clifford
is not going to go anywhere.
Any chance they expose Clifford?
Yes.
Nobody's taking Clifford. Yeah, but nobody's going to take him.
Yeah.
They'll expose him,
So you don't think Seattle would want a guy like that with a Stanley Cup, 2 Stanley Cups on his resume?
I don't think that. I think Seattle is grounded in the reality that they're not going to run away with this draft the way that Vegas ran away with theirs. Yeah, and they know they're going to need time to build a team like that. Not to say Kyle Clifford's old by any means, but he's 29, so he's on the other side of his career.
I have an interesting one for you.
What's up?
Do they expose a Colton Parayko that's been on the block for the last?
That's actually.
I was going to say that, but I thought you guys were going to make fun of me.
No, it's a good pick. And
he's got 2 years left. He was on the trade block.
Yep.
The past
$5.5 million for a D-man like that when you're building your team from the ground up is not a terrible signing.
No.
He hasn't been bad in St. Louis. He just hasn't been what he was his first couple of years. Exactly.
Well, that you have a guy
what
that
a great take.
Marco Scandella does have a modified NNT no trade clause, and then he has also got Falk and Krug, who are both signed for 7 years.
The one guy that
NPCs
would be interesting to look out for is Vince Dunn, because he wants out.
Yeah,
he's an RFA too. Yeah,
you wouldn't protect him, so that would be another guy that you could look at.
And hold on, how old is Dunn? He's only 24 too.
Yep, he's still young.
Holy shit.
He's only 24. So you're looking at, let's see, and Parayko is 27. Those are 2 young guys.
So, what you're looking at, like on the expansion draft, like who's probably going to get taken as far as like a defenseman go or a forward is probably like an Oscar Sundqvist, Zach Sanford, Ivan Barbashev, and Sammy Blais.
I don't think Sammy Blais goes anywhere.
I mean, I
No,
don't think
but
he's
they
that
might-
high
they
end of
might
a.
They're going to
they'll
expose
expose
them.
them.
Yeah, but I don't
That's
think
what
he's
we're saying
that
about
high.
exposing.
Yeah, I don't think he's that high end of a prospect. Defensemen, they're definitely. I mean, they're not going to protect Bortuzzo, Scandello, Folk, or yeah,
They
they're
have
not
to
going to.
protect Falk. They're gonna protect Falk.
Yeah, they did just sign him to
they-
that.
They're gonna.
Whose
they're gonna
mic is
protect-
He
cutting
has
out?
an NTC. Do they have? I don't remember. Do they have to protect him, or does it not qualify?
Wrong way.
Hey,
What?
mess with your headphones or your mic, Daniel.
Mine?
Yeah.
Why? What's wrong? Something happened?
Daniel's been a little laggy for me this whole episode.
Well, yeah, no, but I think it might be you, Alex, because I was hearing it the other day with what's it called?
Do you hear me okay?
I hear you fine.
Oh, okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I don't know.
Somebody's just going. Anybody else hear that? Or am I? The only one?
I can hear
No,
it. That's how I know it's not me.
Yeah, I hear what you're talking about. I don't think it's me either. I got my mic.
But you also have to think that
yeah.
there have to be some team. They're gonna have to take some AHL players. They can't take all
Yes.
NHL players. Some of
This
these
is true.
teams, they're gonna have to take maybe like an AHL player, or someone like I don't even know who an AHL player on their team would be. But in Colorado, it's from like a Logan O'Connor, just someone to fill out their
Yeah, I
AHL team. You just got to get. You can't have a team full of all second liners.
No, of course not.
I got a toughie for you guys.
Okay.
Okay.
Arizona.
Oh,
I already have a pick in mind. That's why, but it took me a while to reach that conclusion.
All
Hold
right.
on. I'm pulling it up now.
I think who's going to get picked from Arizona is probably somebody like Vinny Hinostroza or Derek Stepan. Someone like
Anthony
that.
Stroza.
I think it's going to be Tyler Pitlick.
I think they protect Pitlick, man.
29 years old.
No, they're not going to. Yeah, you're right.
No,
you're
no
right.
way. And I
They
think
would protect Ireland.
I think Tyler Pitlick for an intermediary team is a great pick. Much for the same reasons that Dave was just bringing up Kyle Clifford, but he's younger, has more of a scoring touch. He'd make a great centerpiece on like a third line, like a third checking line.
That's an interesting pick. I'm not gonna argue with that.
No.
Well, the other thing we
A
have
lot of UFAs with 1 year. This 1 year left.
the other thing we got to think about when we're doing these picks in the future is also that Seattle has to hit the salary for it.
Yes.
So
What's
other
the
reason
floor again?
54 million, I believe.
Not too sure.
Around there.
I would
Yeah,
verify that.
yeah.
I thought it was
I-
closer to.
somewhere close to
I
that.
honestly thought it was closer to 60.
I think it might be like 56. I think
Bro,
it's in the
you guys all have Google machines
Yeah,
at your
you have a-
disposal.
Yeah,
anyways.
come on.
Tyler
Cat
Pitlick,
friendly.
Tyler Pitlick has 2 more years on his contract at 1.75 million. So if you're not trying to stack your salary cap too high, but you want to fill it in, that's a great pick for you to kind of eat away at some of that money.
Floor is 60.2 million.
60.2.
There
Okay.
you go.
I think I agree with Berkey, man. I think somebody like Antti Raanta gets picked up, or like I said, either Vinny Hinostroza or Derek Stepan.
Well, Ranta is also he's a UFA.
Oh, is he at the end of the season?
Yeah, it says years
Oh.
remaining, so he's on his UFA.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah, at
doesn't
the end
matter.
of the season,
Oh,
he's
so it
a
doesn't
free
matter
agent. No.
anyway. Yeah.
Both of their backups do, so they only have to protect Kemper.
Yeah.
So that's actually not bad for them.
That's an easy choice. Kemper's.
This is it's not
Avoid.
interesting because they don't need to protect him because of the NMC, or they automatically have to protect him, but they're also obviously looking for a potential trade on OEL. Does somebody make a move for OEL trying to, obviously they kind of cut down on the different trades and all those handshake deals like they did with Vegas. Those are kind of going to be out the window, but somebody like OEL, who is obviously they're looking to move, is there going to be something that's done where they try to move OEL?
Too expensive. He's too expensive,
yeah,
and he
yeah.
signed long term.
Yeah,
Can't do
has-
that.
Hasn't his no movement
8.25.
clause kicked in as of the the end of
Yes,
this-
that's what I'm saying, because they're looking to move him. They have to protect him for the draft, but he could be one of those move before the the
I don't
expansion
think
draft
so.
or
Florida
some kind
Panthers,
of
what Florida did in Vegas.
yes.
So what the fuck are you guys talking about? What are you guys arguing?
No, we're talking about OEL and the deals that Vegas was making. Obviously, they had a little bit more wiggle room, and they've kind of cut back on that. But somebody like OEL, do you think everybody knows he's kind of on the block and he's going to be demanding a trade at the end of the season?
You don't have to cry about it.
No, I burped.
You don't have to burp about it.
But do they try to work something where they're moving OEL with
He has
some
an
kind
NMC,
of,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He'd have to waive it. He'd have to waive it, and I just don't think
understand
he
he has
waives
to-
it.
Yeah.
Assuming he waives it, like
I don't
That's on the
think
table.
they have to
Well,
because
he
it's not
forces. He's the one that's in control of it, really.
Yeah.
right. But there's not really a necessity to do it ahead of the expansion draft, only because if you look at their roster, there's not really that many D-men on there that they can do without chasing almost the same caliber player in free agency, right?
Yeah.
So you've got Jacob Chikrin, who obviously needs to stay, OEL, who's your top trade asset, and then you've got
Demers.
Everybody else is UFAs.
exactly.
Yeah, Demers, Goligoski.
They're all
All
UFAs.
UFAs, right?
Only.
And even if they
OEL and
weren't,
Chikrin are not.
even if they still had years on their contracts, these are all guys that are in their late 30s. They're in the twilight of their careers. Jalmerson, I believe, is still there, right?
Yeah.
But that doesn't pertain to.
No, but
to the
Osterley's
expansion
only
draft, though.
28.
No.
I just
but
don't.
it
I don't
does.
see who they take away the protection from. Like I see they take away from OEL, but who do they give it to? There's nobody.
No,
to give
you're
it to.
right.
There's nobody worth it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So no, I don't think the expansion draft affects them.
Yeah,
moving
you're right.
OEL.
They're one of these teams that's really. They can probably do the. They're going to protect more forwards and expose because they don't
Yeah.
have to protect very
Yeah.
many.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we have to think of the AHL, but I mean, a lot of their RFAs. I mean, they're going to. Do they need to protect? I don't remember how it works for the AHL for some of the prospects like Fashing and
Some of them are exempt from it.
Yeah,
And then it goes by age, right?
Yeah.
Exempt are Barrett Hayton,
And
Nate,
like service time or some shit.
Brian
like that.
McGregor, Jan Jenick. Yeah. And then
Yeah,
a bunch
those-
of
they don't gotta worry about those kids.
Soderstrom, Ivan
Yeah.
Krosvetov.
I'm gonna go grab a beer.
Hudson Fashing.
Oh, they don't, he could be exposed, but I just don't think they're. Well, no, Vegas didn't have to pick anybody up for the AHL team. They
They did
draft-
they formed an existing team.
and the draft was like right afterwards. So I'm sure what's
Right.
going to happen is they're going to draft some kids, and then those kids are going to play with somebody else's AHL team until they have enough prospects to have a team.
Yeah.
Well, which I
Well,
think
the
they
good
will.
thing is they will have pretty quick because they're already working on having that team set up, right?
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. So there's going to be enough lower caliber free agent signings with middle-aged AHL caliber talent to where they could fill in a roster.
True.
Another toughie, Anaheim. Actually, it's not that tough. I think
no,
there's
it's
a clear,
not.
there's
It's
a
not.
clear-cut winner here. I think
It's not tough in Anaheim because they have so much young talent that needs
Same as
to
the
stay
Kings.
that have already played too many NHL games for them to have to be protected.
Right.
I think who gets picked up from the Ducks off the list might be somebody like Adam Henrique, maybe him or Christian Jews.
I could see
I'm-
Kevin Shattenkirk being a very good
I would,
pick
yeah,
for
that's
Seattle.
my pick too. I'm all in on Kevin Shatner.
He's got a modified though.
No, he doesn't.
No, he does
He's
not.
available.
Yeah.
Shattenkirk? Yes, he does.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. He's
I'm
got
on
a
the
modified.
cap-friendly expansion draft. So they protect Cam
Oh,
Fowler,
expansion
Hampus
draft.
Lidholm, and Josh Manson. That leaves Shattenkirk, Larson, and Hutton and Gooley all available. I would take Shattenkirk
I
there.
forgot that Ben Hutton's in Anaheim. He didn't want to leave Southern California. Don't blame him.
Yeah, I think it's definitely going to be Kevin Shattenkirk. Number one, now the guy has a
If they
ring.
can expose him, fine. I just see here it says terms modified NTC.
I think he becomes the more attractive choice too, given what a resurgence he had in Tampa last season.
But he's absolutely shitting the bed in Anaheim, though.
Well, that's what he
Yeah,
did
but
in New
Anaheim
York.
doesn't have any help.
Well, and
And he's
Anaheim is-
he's also in the twilight of his career too, though.
yeah, he's in
Yeah.
the twilight
Where we
of
at
his
now,
career, and a
boys?
team that's
Well, yeah,
absolutely
Anaheim.
shitty.
Anaheim.
You're not drafting him as your number one right-handed D-man, right?
No.
You're drafting him as maybe if you're a borderline playoff team, you're number two behind like a Colton Parayko.
Oh, even like number 4. Like he was coming off the I don't even remember what he was in Tampa, but you had Hedman, McDonough, all behind like Sergachev. Like he was probably like their sixth defenseman, and he flourished there.
Shattenkirk actually skated on the top pairing with Hedman, but we've talked about it on the show before where they put nothing but trash next to Hedman because Hedman is so good he can carry anybody on his right side.
I don't think that's correct, man, because I think Eric Chernik was playing with Hedman.
You're right. I think it was McDonough. No, it was Sergachev and
McDonough. It was McDonough and McDonough's.
They're both lefties.
They're both lefties. Yeah, you're right.
McDonough was on the third pairing.
Either way.
Who's exposed?
And Kevin Shattenkirk.
Kevin Shattenkirk, Ryan Getzlaf, Ryan Kessler, Adam Henrique, David Backes.
Getzlaf have to be exposed. He's got it's here UFA.
He's UFA, but they're still technically being exposed.
Can they expose Ryan Kessler given his situation?
I thought Ryan Kessler retired.
No. Getzlaf,
what
he said.
Extended
on the forward.
Did you say Getzlaf or Kessler? Sorry.
Both.
I said Kessler. It says on they can technically take him, and he's still making $6.8 million.
I mean,
it's
6.87. They could do it if they're looking to hit the floor.
Yeah. Or they could go. They can go the young route and go like Christian Jews, Josh Mahura, Brandon Gooley, Jacob Larson.
I have an interesting one again, just for the sheer fact of how it's been the last couple seasons. They have young guys that are needing to play. Not that this guy is not, or is old, but a Ricard Raquel who's got another year left.
Serviceable guy.
He needed to change his scenery. He's a good player. He's been one of the guys that I've actually liked on Anaheim.
I think they need to hold. I think they need to hold on to him just to help. He needs to be the stepping stone that develops Trevor Zegras.
Yeah, that's the only.
That's the only
reason I don't think he goes. I just said it was an interesting name because he does.
Not only that though,
he'd be eligible.
He also has value, man. You wouldn't just let him go.
And he's still only 28.
Yeah, you're right. He's 27.
His birthday hasn't passed yet. Yeah,
it would be the same as it would be the same as San Jose giving up Tomas Hertl.
That's just fair.
Doesn't make sense.
Well, Hertl's been going up, and Raquel the last year.
Yeah, Hertl's been steady.
He's trending up, and Raquel's going the other way. I just wanted to ask. I don't think they do it either. It would be probably not an ideal thing to do.
Yeah.
Silly. Yeah.
So we're skipping.
But they could do so like Sonny Milano. He'd be available to expose.
Yeah.
Derek Grant, maybe.
He's never. Sonny Milano's never really caught on wherever he's gone. So I mean,
yeah. I mean, but sometimes you expose people. Sometimes you have to expose people to
for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, the sake of doing it. No,
he's definitely going to be exposed.
The next
100%. He's still really young.
The next team we're going to talk about is really interesting. Really interesting. The San Jose Sharks. Who do they protect?
You guys
who do they expose? I honestly think
they're going to end up exposing Carlson. Watch.
No, they can't. They can't expose Carlson.
No,
but they are going to expose Brent Burns. Get themselves out from underneath that contract.
Yeah. Honestly, man, it's tough because I think Mark-Edouard Vlasic also has.
He cannot be. Yep.
I think they expose. If Martin Jones still has a year left, which I think he does,
they can expose him.
They can't. He also has an NFC.
No, they can.
Oh, they can. I think they do, but I don't think anybody wants to invest in that dumpster fire, especially since we said, it's pretty obvious the Seattle starting goaltender will be Braden Holtby. I think.
They can expose Jones being comfortable that nobody's going to take him if they want to. Him
I think Erik Karlsson. I like the Brent Burns pick. I also think that it's the most obvious choice, despite the cap and the age situation, because for the most part, he is still at least a competitive right-handed defenseman. But if you want to add instant name recognition and instant hype to your franchise, former Norris Trophy winner, only a couple years removed, and a consistent, almost perennial 19 to 20 goal scorer on right D is going to be the way to do it.
No, you weren't listening. They cannot expose Erik Karlsson.
No, I said Burns. I corrected myself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh.
There's a couple big name defensemen that will not get protected, and he's one of them. Another one I can also think of is PK Subban.
Yeah.
I would take Burns over Subban, 100%.
100%, I would too.
If I'm
Why is
building,
that?
if I'm building a franchise that needs to hit a certain salary, and I know I'm not going to be competitive for a few years, and I need to put asses in the seats,
I want Burns.
I go for both.
That's true.
I go
Yeah.
for both.
Why not?
Just from a marketing perspective, I go for both.
There's too many good
defensemen
defensemen being left. You can't take both, especially with the flat cap. There's
Yeah.
so many good defensemen. Like I was looking at a mock of this, and they took 10 defensemen, and they were already looking at trading people away. So I would say only one of them would get picked, and I would think Brett Burns would be the right one, even though he's 35.
Mm-hmm.
You would have
That's
to
the
get
scary
someone.
part.
Yeah,
But
you'd have to
he
get
ages
someone.
He ages like fine wine.
You have to get
I don't
someone
know about
extremely
that.
necessarily
defensive
true,
to
man.
play with him.
I don't know about that. But an interesting name from San Jose as well that has gone under the radar. I think they exposed someone like Kevin LeBlanc.
LeBlanc.
Yep. He's a good young scorer. I mean, he's not lighting the lamp every single game, but I mean, I know he has a hell of a shot because we've seen him countless times.
Yes.
But I think that could also, if they don't go the Brent Burns route, I think they might go after someone like Kevin LeBlanc.
But who would you protect instead of him? They don't have a lot.
I mean, you have. Yeah, they don't, and
They
a lot
have-
that they have to protect. They got 3 guys on their main roster here that are on ELCs.
Yeah,
That's just true.
And you got a bunch
What
of
about
guys on
exposing a
UFAs.
Nieto
You're going to
Matt Nieto.
Nieto.
from
No,
Long
he's a
Beach?
UFA. He's a
Long Beach
UFA.
native.
The Long Beach
USA.
native Matt Nieto, excuse me.
That's right.
I mean, you for sure you have to protect Couture, Meyer, Hurdle, Kane.
Well, yeah, you have to because they got
LeBlanc,
NBC.
Donato.
Right.
I was thinking about
Donato.
LeBlanc now too.
Yeah, Couture, Evander Kane, and Hurdle all have no trade clauses.
Yeah.
Stefan Nosen would be a little sleeper pick right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a great bottom 6C or
Yeah.
wing flex. Let's
Yeah, he's
move
on
a
the
little
squad.
closer to home. And by home, I mean literally our backyard. LA.
Let's go, LA.
Is that the last one? That is.
That is the last one.
Wait,
obviously,
did we
yes.
do Vegas?
For those of you, Vegas,
We have
Vegas
a
is
Vegas
not-
cover, but yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Vegas,
Okay.
Vegas does not have to expose anybody. They're exempt.
they do not expose this time. They're
which is
exempt.
which is stupid, but okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. That one's mixed for me. I get why.
Mm.
They put that rule in.
So Carter's exposed,
expecting
right?
Who?
If he's
Carter's
not moved,
definitely
Carter-
exposed.
Carter's exposed.
Quickie exposed.
Oh
you have
man.
to protect one. They're not protecting the
If this is gonna be a stretch. If he doesn't pan out, or at least show signs of panning out, why is Weish Anderson exposed?
I thought that was a foregone conclusion. I thought that's part of the reason why we signed him.
I think.
Is
the
it?
Kings-
I don't know.
Anderson. Oh,
If the
Texas
kid,
Club,
if the
that's why.
kid, if the kid can turn it on,
Yeah, because
and
he's an
we-
RFA on his ELC still.
yeah.
I mean,
So-
he's 22.
It's kind
He's
of
on his
tricky.
ELC. Can he? They don't have to expose him because
Yes,
he's on
it
his
is.
ELC.
He has
Yeah.
to hit his 16 game requirement to meet the exposure.
Yeah,
So
he
how many games
he
did
made.
play or no?
This might be an unpopular forward, but what about Dustin Brown?
They're not going to take.
No, we've talked about
We
this
talked
before.
about it last-
Brown retires a king.
Were you were here, Dave?
I think I was. Yeah, I was.
We
There's
talked
no way
about
that-
his surgeon. We
there's
thought he
no
was
way-
originally going to be exposed, but
That's
the
right,
last
that's right.
couple of years he's played so
Less-
well. You just can't.
Less and less time on the PK.
They're not going to protect him, but I don't think he's going to get picked up.
I don't think
100%.
Yep.
I
They
think
may make a backdoor deal on that one too.
you can make a backdoor deal for me.
Oh yeah, you got it.
So I think who the Kings expose are people like Amadio, Isamont, Luff, Trevor Moore, Austin Wagner, McDermott, Murer, Strand. I don't think they expose Ferk. I think they,
I don't
they
think so
keep
either.
Ferk.
Yeah. Also, I feel like maybe Mata
Who are the 3D that you would protect right now?
I think Mata's a UFA, isn't he?
Besides,
In
Oh, no,
2022.
no, you're right. He's
besides Drew Doughty, I would
He's an
protect
explosive.
Clegg, Roy, and Walker for sure.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I agree
Walker.
100%.
Yep.
So I mean, it's tough, man.
Because then you
Yeah,
end up
Roy's an
exposing guys
RFA.
like Brickley and like Mark Alt and fucking
Right.
Mark
Austin
Hall.
Strand.
What a guy.
Even though Austin Strand has played really well since playing with the Kings.
I'm actually,
Yes,
I would be
very,
pretty upset if
very
we
well.
lost him. I like him a lot.
Yeah.
See, the Kings are in a position where they can just offer up shit because that's all we pretty much have. That
We're
are
in a great I
eligible.
I feel like we are the best built team going into this expansion draft to protect the future of our franchise.
But here's the
100%.
kicker, though. Well, no. Tobias,
What?
Toby Bjornfit is still on his.
He's on a
ELC.
ELC.
Yeah, we don't got to worry about it.
we don't have to worry
That's what I'm
about him,
We
Anderson,
don't have to
Kapari,
expose any talented players.
Jad.
Yeah, I mean we're
Velarde,
golden.
Oh no, we have to protect Velarde at this point. I think.
No,
Nope.
he's
Still
ELC.
ELC.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's exempt.
So again,
So
I
was
think the
us.
Kings. I think the Kings expose Amadio, Iceman, Luff, Moore, Wagner, McDermott, Mover, and Strand until Seattle have fun with one of those guys
And Carter.
and Carter. I mean Carter's exposed.
Who do you think they pick?
I can see them picking Carter. I really
depth
can.
AHL player.
I think they
It's
would
gonna end up
take.
being an AHL player. Yeah.
I think they either take Carter or they take someone like Trevor Moore. Trevor Moore is a great fourth line player.
Damn, that would bum me out. I like him a lot.
I like Trevor Moore too.
Yeah.
Shit.
I can see Carter being somebody.
I want to know what
That's
Oswald
a good
thinks.
presence.
Where's Oswald?
What
Yeah,
about like
where is Os?
Need
yeah?
Oswald to weigh in on this.
You need Oswald's opinion? Oh, you gonna tag? I was about to tag him in
Discord.
just in case. Zach's already on it.
I'll go get another beer. I'll bring it back.
Good for you.
Yeah, you go for it. Yeah, we want his opinion. But we can continue. I'm not going to just sit here and have dead air.
Yeah, I think that actually does it for all our picks for this week.
Yeah, that's
For real.
That's
Yeah, it does.
yeah. That does it. We're gonna cover a different division next week. But yeah, no, I appreciate Osswald again. We're looking for you, but appreciate the topic suggestion. Let's see.
Looks like we got
this
some
one's a short,
rumors,
short
right?
topic. Yeah, there's a short topic. This is something G brought up earlier. He's kind of pissed about this, of course, because we all know how he feels about Bobrovsky. Apparently, the word on the street is Chris Dreger is either available or has been the target of recent trades. I don't know. The way he worded it, I couldn't tell if he was being shopped or not, or if it was more of people are trying to acquire him.
I was going to say target doesn't necessarily mean that he's on the block. Somebody can be a target without being exposed, right? When Jack Eichel was not exposed by any means, but he's still a trade target.
Yeah. No, I get that, and that's what I'm saying. I mean, he wrote target, but I don't know if I didn't see the I didn't see
The tweet said target, I think.
Oh, okay. So
What are we
people
talking
trying to
about
acquire
here?
him. Chris Drager.
Who was the big
Drager. I don't remember how to say it.
Oh, from Florida?
Florida. Yeah. So people are
starting
either
goalie right
calling
now?
on him. Yeah. And obviously G does not feel kindly about this because we know how he feels about Bob's. But he's recently, I was trying to, move to a topic that wasn't too long to hit on before Oz came, because I guess he's coming to give his opinion on this. Yeah.
Did you send that?
Said he was coming.
He said he was.
God damn.
Oh, he said no, he's gaming. All right.
Oh, well, fuck him then. We wanted his opinion on this.
Good for you that you get an actual fucking response out of him. The guy's my goddamn captain. Doesn't hit me back up.
That's frustrating.
It's our Discord. Everyone loves the Alt Boys Discord.
The what Discord?
The Alt Boys. That's me, Oz, Geo, Millsy, Loading. That's all. That's our little group. Because we like to play on our alt accounts, and if we need one, we'll find an LFG.
There you go.
There he is.
There you go.
Oswald's here. He's here. All right.
There he
Thank God you answered Berkey and not me, Oswald.
Yeah,
Fucking
appreciate
guy.
it.
Sorry,
Need-
Lazar, I forgot you.
Need
Anyways, yes,
need
go
your
ahead. No,
opinion
you do
on
that.
who you think the Kings are going to protect.
And we need him now.
Now.
I need cash now. Call JG Wentworth.
I think you can't say that if we want to be Twitch partners.
Why?
I don't know, dude.
Where
is it always?
Fuck us,
Where the-
Chubb.
Okay,
Where the
Okay,
fuck
Chubb.
did Oakveer come from, dude?
Yeah.
Where the fuck
He
did this
decides
guy
he
come
wants to
from?
talk. He wants to. Yeah, Viral's already been here. He said "fuck you" like an hour ago.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that
Fuck
was
you.
15
That was
minutes ago.
that seriously was like 40 minutes ago.
No, but who do you think gets picked from the Kings during the expansion draft? I'm drinking motor oil.
Motor oil. I like.
I have this kind of like
So he says
Hazy
4 and
bullshit.
4.
Oh, he said 4 and 4. Okay.
I'm
What?
still going. I'm still going Alimata.
All
Well,
I want is
yeah.
a pick.
Eagle
I think
Walled.
he's supposed to. Sure. Well,
You can
Osswald
taste
says we
the-
go 4 and 4, but I don't know who.
Yeah. Which 4?
Oh, Kopi, I follow Kempe Elias. He thinks they protect Elias. Do we need to protect Elias though? Because he's on ELC.
Yep.
As long as he hits his game
We do?
requirements, then you have
Oh,
to.
his game
Yeah.
requirement. That's right. Okay.
Mhm.
Dowdy, Roy, Walker, and Clegg.
That's kind of scary though, man, because I think Cal Peterson can get picked up to be a backup.
I think so too.
You
But
have to protect him.
I
Yeah,
also
you have to protect. Oh, he's saying no goalie protection.
Yeah.
No, I think you can do
Honestly,
4
we're
and
not-
4.
we're not
Yeah.
in the worst place if we do lose him.
No,
It's
we're
not
not.
ideal,
Because they're
but-
not gonna. They can't take both.
It's
Right.
10 skaters
take
and
both.
1 goalie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Virals. I'm sure we'll get to that viral because we're not on your division yet, but that's pretty funny.
Like Matheson.
He said they get exposed 75% of their roster. And nobody'd probably take them anyway.
Yeah, no one wants any of that smoke.
Yeah. Okay. He said Peterson, obviously. Yeah, that's what we agreed. We think Quick's going to be exposed. Got to protect Peterson here.
Yeah, have to. There's no way. This is the future.
Yeah.
Quick's on the way out.
The only
Yeah,
time
and-
Quick plays good is against the Avalanche.
You just have to. That's true.
I
But
think
you
partly
have to
true.
hope. Yeah, that's
It's
partly
pretty true. You guys did beat us, but I mean, we had an AHL goalie in that.
Yeah, I agree. I think Peterson is the obvious protection.
You
as
think
well.
you're making me jealous, Chubbed? I don't give a shit.
Yeah. Leave a mushroom print on your forehead, buddy.
Get out of here, Oakveer.
Oh,
Go
next time, talk.
or squawk. Either way. One of those.
Either way.
Do not squawk.
I already got one of those.
Yep.
All right, cool.
All right, you can catch one of those.
So we have some, just covered in the last week. Tampa Bay went 4-0. No real shocker. But Vasilevsky recorded back-to-back shutouts. Tampa Bay allowed 3 goals in 4 games. Not that they were struggling, but they were not really, I guess, separating themselves. They
Who were they
kind of
against?
quietly. They were kind of quietly playing well, if you want to see that.
I
Nobody's really
hate
talking about Tampa Bay.
I hate to go back to this too, but Clegg has been
Yeah.
one of their best left-handed defensemen.
100%.
10 times better than
Clagui.
10 times better than fucking Curtis McDermott.
And it's not even close. So the last 4 games, Tampa's had Dallas, Carolina again, Carolina again.
Oh,
And
again?
well, they played Carolina like
they
4
played
times.
tonight? Oh, okay. I mean, that's a decent team to play though. So it's not like
Yeah.
they.
I have Carolina ahead of Tampa, so that's kind of disappointing.
And they mightily shut out the Stars on Saturday.
Honestly, man, it's quite
Something's wrong with
surprising.
Dallas.
It's quite surprising to me how good Tampa Bay is without Kucherov, man. It's kind of shocking.
Well,
He's just a machine and
I don't know, we talked about-
piece of the
yeah,
machine.
it's a
dude.
machine. It's true. I mean, he's such a fantastic talent, but at the same time, we talked about it. They're just so deep. You got a guy like Braden Point that fills that spot. Yes, it drops off a little bit because of your depth, but at the same time, they're so deep and Point's so talented. It's
So
nothing
good.
against him, but you don't
You're
lose.
so talented.
You don't lose much.
No.
Only the depth at that point, because Point is, but well, double point. Yeah. Anyways, Braden Point is, that talented as well. And he's just, a young guy just doing work.
To that point, Point is
go ahead.
great.
Yes.
Point is a little overrated, I would say.
Minnesota goes 4-0.
Whoa,
Carried.
Colt,
What?
Speaking of points, Zuccarello and Kaprizov combining for 15 points.
Wait, did you just say Braden Point's overrated?
Overrated.
A little bit. There's people putting him in like top 10 centers, and I don't think he's the top 10 center.
Is Kopitar a top 10 center?
In his day, yes. Not
No,
now.
like right now.
No.
What?
Yeah, I'm over it. I was pissed when he started the whole thing. It got me mad.
Wait a minute, dude. Wait a minute.
Hold on. Before I get pissed, let me go take a piss.
Wait a minute. You're going to sit here and tell me that you wouldn't want any other. What are you saying, Alex? What's going on?
Unmute yourself.
You're muted.
Your
I'm
mic
muted.
is not by your face.
I muted him when he started squawking.
I don't use this. I use my blue. I was saying Nathan McKinnon is trash, and I'm saying that only to hurt Berkey's feelings.
Oh.
No, you're being
Honestly,
facetious.
though, dude. Honestly, though, on the real, though, who are you going to put? What center would you want to put out there against a Nathan McKinnon and stuff like that? You want fucking Anze Kopitar or Patrice Bergeron, dude?
100%.
Okay, yeah, as a defensive center, but just pure,
But a center's job as a hockey player, a center's job isn't his only job isn't to put up points, man.
Yeah,
His
it's
job
defensive
is to-
responsibility.
Anze Kopitar is top 10 in the league in points. Over.
Hey, dude, no one's arguing with you on that.
Okay, how mad do I have to be at this point?
Kopitar is consistently up there in points, and
He's led his team in points, I think, in like every year that he's played, except for like one.
Except for his rookie season.
He is up there in the top 10 of centers. I don't give a shit what NHL Network says. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
around the 10, anywhere from 8 to 12, I could see an argument being made.
Yeah, I don't think he's top 5. No way. No, I don't think he's I don't think he's a top 5 center. But, yeah, I think he deserves to be in that top 10, 100%.
Yeah.
I could see both
You know what,
ways.
Millsy? You know what? You just caught yourself a fucking
No,
meme, bro.
no, don't do it. Shh, fuck you. I was already doing it.
Oh,
Wow.
you didn't catch a mute. You heard it here first. This kid has the most freezing cold takes I've ever heard in my fucking life, dude.
Yeah, dude. Seriously.
But either way,
He's a
Minnesota.
delusional Rangers fan.
Minnesota. I know he probably thinks Lafreniere is like the second coming of Connor McDavid.
Or Georgiev, or Shesterkin.
He's the second coming of fucking
Lafreniere is
Brodeur.
Lafreniere is the second coming of fucking Alex Frolov and shit. Like that's who he is to me.
Whoa.
There you go.
Whoa.
Just kidding.
Oh, like that,
Sorry.
bro.
Don't insult
Okay.
Frolov. Is that what you said?
Yeah, don't
I'm-
call it off like that.
I'm interested to see what Lafreniere does his second year,
I
but
am
this
too.
first year he has been very unimpressive.
Yes.
And everyone on that team sucks, dude.
And
There's
the
also
same-
some stats that say that he's actually created chances. It's just his line mates can't finish. So
Does he have really good Corsi stats?
Look,
I'd have to look,
the
but
joke
I'm pretty sure
about
they're decent.
Lafreniere being a bust, that's literally a joke for us. We don't believe that. We actually believe people get a chance and opportunity to try and prove themselves in the NHL.
Speak for
It's
yourself.
irrelevant.
But here's the thing, though. I want to use this argument against all the people who have used this argument against us. All people in Discord have said, "Oh, Byfield's a bust because he was a fucking grown man playing against kids, whatever, blah blah blah."
I hate that.
Alexi Lafreniere looked like a fucking man amongst kids as well, bro. The kid was already
That's the
6
cue.
foot. Huh?
That's the Q. The
He was
Q
in the-
isn't.
It's even smaller than the OHL, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that gives him the opportunity he didn't really develop as well as someone playing in like the O or the Dub, where he's playing against bigger competition to get him ready for the NHL.
Thanks.
Look at what-
have an insider.
Look at what
Ah.
happened. Look at what happened with Jack Hughes last season. He goes from playing in the USHL
Yep.
straight to the NHL.
To getting
There-
dunked on.
You have there can't be. You
And
have
guess
to play.
what? He's developing, and Jack Hughes is much better this season, and he's going to get his footing, and he's going to be fine.
See, that's why I think the Kings are doing the right thing with Byfield,
Yes.
man. Playing him in the AHL this season, maybe even only half the season, man. Let him get his reps against men, see what he does, and if he fucking
Let it rip.
on a tear, come on now, bud, let's go. Let's see you in the NHL.
Exactly. I agree.
Anywho,
But fuck the Minnesota Wild. They went 4-0. They were carried by Zuccarello and Kaprizov.
Mhm.
I fucking hate Kaprizov, dude. I hate him with a burning passion. He just
why do you hate him with a burning passion, dude?
because he has such a punchable fucking young looking face, man. I just want to fucking punch it repeatedly.
I
And
just
he's
want to
so
say this right
good.
now.
He is so good.
You sound like homeboy Clint Eastwood. Get off my lawn. You sound like that right now, dude. You're just hating on the guy because he's young.
Well,
No, because he's good.
He's good. He adds that dynamic to Minnesota that they don't
yes,
have.
he does. Yes, he
No,
does.
100%.
But here's the thing, though. With Kaprizov, the reason why I hate him is because of how fucking good he is, bro. You can't knock him off the puck, man. That guy
Guy's
has
slippery.
such a good, like, low center of gravity, dude. Like, look what he was doing to Doughty, dude. And Doughty is up there in the talks of one of the better defensemen in the league. You know what I mean? Like, it was. I hated it. I hated it. I just hated watching it. The Minnesota Wild are surprisingly good, dude.
I mean, they play the
Surprisingly
Kings a
good.
whole lot, so.
Well, yeah, but they just play the Western Division a whole lot. But
No, I
still,
get
I
it.
mean,
It's-
I agree. I think they're one of the borderline teams.
I'm pretty sure
still
Minnesota has
think-
yet to play Vegas or St. Louis yet either,
Oh wow!
if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong though.
I think the jury's out
What'd
on.
you say?
I think the jury's out on Minnesota.
Yeah.
The jury is out on Minnesota. I don't think
the
they're gonna
division is
overtake us.
weak.
One
division is
one
weak
weak
besides
team
the-
is going to have to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's it going to
Yeah.
be?
The Kings.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
100%.
I said it. I said at the beginning. I think the Kings sneak in at the 4.
Philadelphia rights the ship as they go 3-0 with Elliott and Hart both recording shutouts. Again, they are my pick to go to the Stanley Cup final from the.
And for those that started, doubting Philadelphia a little bit the last couple of weeks, it's just not a good look to do that because they literally had half of their starting roster on the COVID list, and they were literally
shit.
playing defensemen at forward.
Yep.
They had 2 defensemen playing forward for the first time in their NHL career.
Well, I got a topic I want to talk about. Oh, wrap up
Please.
with Kings per usual. That's fine.
Yeah,
The New York Islanders go 3-0-1 as Varlamov allows 8 goals on 103 shots. Jesus.
Whoa, is that right?
In addition
Farley is
to
underrated.
in
He's one of
addition
the-
to recording a point.
He's one of the most
Holy
Yeah,
underrated.
shit.
point too. He got an assist. Fucking monster.
I'll agree with you that he's underrated, but he's overrated. Wait, how can I say this? Fuck.
The
How can I
Avs
say-
made the right choice in keeping Grubauer, but it was a good. He's playing well in the Islanders. He's still a starting
His
goaltender.
Trump wife skills are elite.
Ah, you bitch. You bitch. I was trying to figure out how I
What you were
wanted
trying
to.
to think of.
Yeah, his wife choking skills is elite.
Yeah,
And kidnapping.
I love the Islanders. Actually, like they get a lot of flack for being a very defensive team, but they have an elite top 6. Or
Barry Trotz, dude. Barry
Yeah.
Trotz. That's what he does.
like
And
Anthony
team hockey,
Beauvillier,
everybody
Josh
calls
Bailey,
it boring.
Brock Nelson.
Brock
It's
Nelson
so
is
nasty.
probably one of my favorite, like, underrated centers that are out there,
They're
dude.
so nasty.
No.
I'm still kind of undecided on Anthony Beauvillier because he's been pretty quiet. But other than that, I mean, Brock Nelson is a fucking stud, dude.
They're
Yeah,
one of
but
my
I'm
teams to
tired.
watch.
I mean, it's true though. It's really hard. Like sometimes it's like they say, "Oh, the Islanders, they just play boring hockey. They're not fun to watch." Hey, guess what? It works. You got a Barry Trotz winning games and helping. You've got a good, sound defensive team. It doesn't always look pretty. It's not always entertaining to watch. But if it works for your team and it gets you to the playoffs and deep into the playoffs on a consistent basis, I mean, why
Do that.
change?
It's a 3-2 league.
That's right. It was a
Trust us,
3-2
we
league.
understand.
That's what we did.
We
play the
understand
West.
as Kings fan.
And the West Division, yeah.
let's talk about the Avs, man.
All right.
It went 2-2 this
Do
week
it.
or last week.
We will.
Last week.
Yeah, last week.
So they split the series against Vegas. I would take that as a win. I mean, you definitely want to go 3-1. They had the chance to go 3-1 going into Game 4 against them, and they just kind of played bad. But you'll still take the split. That game against Minnesota, that was just bad. That was kind of the game where you're like, you tell your team this isn't good enough. They kind of take a step back, take a look at yourself in the mirror, say that is this really who we are, losing to Minnesota this bad?
6-2 loss that night. It was very out of
McKinnon's
character.
still not back, right? Or is he back now?
McKinnon's back.
Oh, he is? Did he come back last week?
Yeah, he was back for right after the pause ended, the first game against Vegas.
Okay.
In this note, Daniel, I see Soderberg and Rantanen lead the way. Soderberg's not on Colorado anymore.
No.
Oh yeah,
He's on Arizona.
He's on
Arizona.
Chicago.
Or Chicago.
Yeah.
You're right.
Keep up, guys.
I don't know why I wrote Soderberg, honestly.
Well, and the Avs
I
just
think I had a
lost.
Chicago note there first, actually.
The Avs just lost to the Sharks today.
Didn't brace
So
it.
Oh, they did.
I
They
told
lost
you I
to the
was-
Sharks.
they blew a
I
2-0
told you I was
lead.
busy.
But
That's
I mean,
embarrassing. That's
yeah.
embarrassing.
Well, the
They were
game kind of got away from
their defense
Colorado.
without Makar and Byram and Johnson, they're running Ryan Graves. They're running 3 defensemen the whole game, and Taves,
shit.
Gerard, and Graves. Because you also had Timmins, rookie defenseman, Jacob McDonald, AHL defenseman. That he's all gas, no breaks, has no structure, and then you have Dan Renouf, who's an AHL lifer. I mean, it sucks losing, being up 2-0. Like the Avs were dominating play in the second period, and then just the third period hit.
Well, that's what happens when you have a team. I mean, that's the thing is you come out strong. Everybody's got adrenaline running, and then once it settles in, you got guys that aren't consistently playing for the NHL team. That's what happens.
Yeah.
The fatigue settles in. You're going 100% for a while. It just depletes, and that's what happens.
I also hate
momentum.
to say this, but there's a sneaky problem with scoring for the Avs this year. There's a sneaky problem. Other than McKinnon and Rant, like the big guys that you would expect,
Landeskog's
they're not
been quiet, right?
I mean, he scored tonight, and he's been picking it up recently. A lot of the guys have, but you have Jost with 1 goal, Nichushkin with 2 goals. Comfer, I think, has 3, but I think 2 of them were power play goals. They're not getting any production from their bottom
No secondary
6.
scoring.
Yeah.
And that's always
Which is
been
surprising.
Colorado's problem for me.
Which is funny because
Which is weird.
No
because we
kidding.
talk about how
Yeah,
deep
there's
they
no
were.
secondary scoring.
I mean,
But, that
a
is
lot
weird.
of it is just extremely low shooting percentages, and it's just kind of unsustainable. The Avs are just
they're
So
just
like
throwing
Patrick Corsi?
they're just throwing the puck on net, right?
they're not capitalizing on their chances. They're just flat out missing the net a lot. Like that game against Vegas, they missed the net more than they hit the net. They're just gripping. A lot of them are just gripping their sticks too tight. They're trying too hard. They just need to kind of relax, take a step back, and just.
What are they missing in regards to like personnel to right the ship? It sounds to me like they're missing like some sort of like a finisher, or
not only they need more talent in the bottom 6. That's what it is.
I would say the biggest thing right now is a third line center. JT
I was
Compher
thinking someone like center.
JT Compher has been that guy for them the past couple of years. He's been clutch in playoffs, but this season he's just hasn't looked as good. And he
has a nice beard though.
He does have a nice beard, but he only has 4 points on the season.
The Avs window is now until McKinnon's contract.
I agree.
So you cannot be wasting these years with McKinnon on arguably the best contract in the NHL. You have to. You have to.
I didn't even think about that. His contract is very appealing.
You got to pull the trigger on a Crosby trade.
I would even. There's been a couple names thrown around. I've heard Sam Bennett, but I'm not a huge fan of Sam Bennett.
Fuck, he's not a center.
No.
Yeah, exactly. But
he's not an NHL player.
Avs fans are in love with Sam Bennett. Avs fans will tell you that the Avs need more grit and they need to go get Ryan Reeves. I'm not. It's
why?
Nah, man, you know what?
Do people not understand that that's the league is moving away from that, dude? And the grit is like the Kings' fourth line now, where it's just speed. They'll throw some checks and stuff like that, but it's just.
But they're
speed.
just fast as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. The Avs throw the least amount of hits per game in the NHL.
Now, is that a structure thing or is that just personnel thing?
That's just how they play. They are
so structure, yeah.
Yeah, it's a structure thing. They play last season. They were the team to dump the puck in the least out of any other team.
They want controlled puck entries.
They want controlled rush entries.
That's smart.
They are built for rush scoring chances. Their entire forward core can skate fast and is good at puck moving. That's the entire Avs.
But when they come across a team that can pinch at the blue line very well, that's where they have their problems, huh?
Or even clog the neutral zone for
that's
one they can.
The biggest thing with the Avs is the Avs have to be playing their game. If you make the Avs play your game,
they're fucked.
That's why with Todd McClellan, the Kings have had a success against the Avs because they run the 1-3-1.
Yeah,
right. You run
they
1-3-1
clog everything
on
up
them.
middle.
Yeah. Dude, you're fucked.
You can't. You have to. The Avs have to be playing their game.
So at that point, the Avs would have to make perfect one-touch passes or breakout passes out of their zone, and when you clog the neutral zone like that, it's going to be hard to come by, especially a team like the Kings.
Why hasn't? Well, I mean, you can't really do that, man. Because I was going to say, why haven't the? Because I know that Landeskog has experience at center. Why wouldn't you move Landeskog to like 2C and Nazem Kadri to like 3C?
Honestly, you don't really have anyone to take that spot. They've tried so hard to move Burakovsky up to play with Rantanen and McKinnon, and it just hasn't worked. The three-headed monster, as they call it, they have built so much chemistry together. You have to run them together unless someone's hurt or someone else is playing out of their mind. Because Landeskog is that guy. Landeskog is the guy that will go in the corners, dig pucks out, and give them to McKinnon and Rantanen. And you try and put Burakovsky up there, who's a finisher. It doesn't really work out
because somebody needs to go get the puck out of the corners for him.
Yeah.
Now, see, like Nazem Kadri to me is the perfect third line center. He's got grit. He knows how to score. He can be a pest. He's a perfect third line center. So
wait a couple years till Alex Newhook takes his 2C job and Kadri will be the 3C.
But you guys can't wait a couple of years. Yeah. You guys need to win now.
You guys got to strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, I get that. It's just you don't want to move these much prospects.
Asada?
I do like Sada with McKinnon.
That's what I'm saying. You throw him on that line, let Landeskog drop to C.
I haven't watched many Avs games, but where is Saad playing?
He's playing on the second line with Kadri and
That's like a checking line, bro. That needs to be like
that's seriously a checking line. Yeah.
You need to throw Saad up on that line. Let Landeskog move to C, especially if you're having 3C issues. I think that's
Kadri down.
Yeah.
Or you put together a package with Bowen Byram, fucking couple first round draft picks, some other prospects for Sidney Crosby.
Dude, Crosby, my stepdad works for the Penguins. He's told me that Crosby, the only team he will go to is the Avs.
I mean, it makes sense. He's either going to retire there, or he's going to go play with his prodigy.
Yes. And
Crosby wants to go chase another cup, and I've heard that the only two spots that he wants to go to are the Avs or New York.
No, it's not New York. It's Colorado.
Colorado?
Only spot. Yep.
The Avs have the pieces to get it done, dude. If the Avs were to go get Sidney Crosby have McKinnon, Crosby, and Kadri going down the middle, that's unbeatable. That's almost unbeatable.
So for the Avs, what does it take to get Sidney Crosby in an Avs uniform this year?
I said it. I already said it.
I didn't hear you.
Let me just pull up the text because I've been talking to my stepdad about that, who works for them.
So you're looking at like Bowen Byram, like at least 2 first rounds.
So what he said is you would be looking at Kadri, Newhook, Gerard, and a couple firsts just for Crosby.
That's not that bad.
That's not a terrible trade.
No, it really isn't.
But here's the thing, though, dude. You fuck your Colorado fucks themselves by doing that because they still don't have a 3C at that point.
Yeah.
So the thing is with I know the Avs are cup contenders this year, but they're going to be a lot better in 2 to 3 years when these guys are actually developed. When you have Byram hitting his prime, you got Newhook, who's next year he's going to be he's going to be up on the wing on the second line because I'm pretty sure Saad will not stay unless he takes a hefty pay cut. It's just they're kind of stuck right now. Because you don't want to go.
I see some great battles coming between the Avs and the Kings coming soon.
So with the Avs, are the Avs? What team would be better if the Avs just wait and see and develop, or if they trade and get Crosby?
Wait and see.
I feel so too.
Yeah,
I think you have more of a longer timeline if you just wait and see, as opposed to just getting Crosby and having him for like elite for like a year and a half.
It's not like Nathan McKinnon's, retiring.
This is so fucked. They are in a really fucking shitty position.
It's a good position to be in.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this, dude. If Sidney Crosby wants to come to my team, as good as he still is, I'm fucking doing that, dude.
Yeah,
100%.
He can play till he's 45.
The only thing is
so you mortgage the future.
No. This is my question. I don't have a problem with mortgaging the future, but you get a Sidney Crosby who's got chronic concussion problems, and he comes to the hard-checking West Division, and we talked about Erik Karlsson, and you got an old Sidney Crosby that already has concussion problems.
What if Dustin Brown will put him into fucking senility?
Dustin Brown doesn't hit that much anymore, man.
No, he doesn't.
I'm just teasing. I'm teasing.
The West Coast is moving away from that style of play, though, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
they are, but they're still the hardest hitting of all of the divisions. You look at the division he's in.
Go ahead.
What were you going to say, Berkey?
Alex Newhook gets seriously underrated because everyone talks about Byram and they talked about Makar. Alex Newhook would be in the NHL if he wasn't on the Avs. If he was on 20 other teams, he would already be in the NHL. He is a franchise center, and the only reason he's not a franchise center in Colorado is because they have Nathan McKinnon.
He's going to want to leave. He's going to want to leave.
Why would you want to leave Colorado?
To get more money. To be a number 1 seed, bro.
Sakic packages them for something, like, you know what I mean?
Dude. I can already see the writing on the wall, bro. That Newhook is going to want to leave. He wants to be a 1C. If he's a franchise center, he's going
to command a lot of money.
I feel like the era of the Malkin Crosby tandem is kind of dying out.
Yeah,
we've talked about this in LA too, where we have so much center depth. It doesn't make sense for us to have that defined all-star 1-2C combo. It doesn't work anymore. You need a consistent, solid top C more than you need a franchise caliber center on both your lines.
Then you move him up to wing and you create the fastest line in the NHL.
Bam!
If he works with them.
Down, bro.
Well, here's the problem, though. Is he a grinder?
No.
Then are you going to run into the same problem that you did with Burakovsky?
But why? If Newhook's on the 1C, Rantanen Swat, or on the one right wing, and Rantanen swats down to the second line to provide secondary scoring, you still have Landeskog on the left side up front.
But why would you put Rantanen on a second line? Wouldn't you want him out there as much as you possibly can?
Yes and no. I mean, him and McKinnon are both consistent scoring threats. Why not spread it out if you have Newhook, McKinnon, Landeskog,
time on ice?
They used to do that a couple years ago when they had Kerfoot. It was always Landeskog, McKinnon, and Kerfoot, and then you had Rantanen down playing with Soderberg.
Yeah.
Speaking of the devil.
Well, now but hypothetically, if they go out and get Crosby and they don't have to move Newhook, then you have Crosby and Rantanen putting together the most gangster second line the NHL has ever seen.
The Avs have a very big problem right now with getting forward prospects games. Shane Bowers is the only player from the 2017 first round draft to not play in the NHL. He is sitting playing in the AHL right now. It's Gerard Bednar likes who he likes. That's why you'll see players like Sheldon Dries, Jason Megna. They get more playing time. It's one of the biggest.
You guys have what's his name? Kiefer Sherwood, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck? What is he doing
really
on
good.
what is he doing on an NHL roster, bro?
He's looked really good in his couple games that he's played in. He's a taxi squad guy, but that's the thing though. I wouldn't expect Bowers to make his debut sometime in this next homestand. The Avs, after these next games or after Wednesday's game, they're home for the rest of March. They only have 4 away games in March.
That's wild.
So I would expect. That's also another thing with Adam Werner, who's on the taxi squad right now. He's a decent prospect goalie right now, and obviously Hunter Miska is not an NHL goalie. He is just not. So I would assume once they get back to Denver, you'll see them send a couple guys down to the Eagles to get a couple reps, a couple games in, and then they'll be called up to the roster.
I can see why you don't want to move Newhook, dude, because you see the writing on the wall that the next drafts that you guys are going to start going through, all of them are going to start to be lower end, like first round draft picks, lower end second round picks. I mean, I can understand why.
It's going to be depth. It's going to be depth players for the most part.
Yeah,
Alex, I saw the kitty run across the back.
Oh.
Hi, kitty. Hi, kitty.
Let me get her.
Sorry.
the Avs are in the best situation and the worst situation at the same time.
But that's the situation you want.
Yeah, every team would kill to be in the Avs situation right now.
Oh, I know. I agree. It's the same thing. It's like that's the best worst problem to have. You want a situation where you're like, we're good enough that if we make the move, we can win now, and for a couple of seasons we'll be, still competitive, and we can figure it out at the end. Or you're still competitive now and think you're going to be even better in a couple of years. It's just the catch-22. What do you want to do?
Yeah.
But that's the best problem to be in. That's what you want.
I put all trust in Joe Sakic. Joe Sakic has been a magician. He's the best GM in the league, and you just let him do his thing.
He's up there. He's
good. Yeah.
Hey, straight up, are you streaming your kitty?
Yes.
Yeah, Rob Blake's
live on stream.
Rob Blake is probably one of the most underrated GMs that are out there right now, which transitions me into this.
You know what someone told me about?
Underrated, though. I mean, I know we'll get into it now. I know it's a transition, Zach.
Someone told
before
me
we get
that
into it, Dave.
Someone told me that he was only good because it's still Dean Lombardi's staff that's there. Coach, someone told me that, and I almost put him in the motherfucking sharpshooter, dude.
The only person that's still there is Bill Ranford, I believe.
Yeah.
Fuda. No?
No,
Fuda's
gone.
Fuda's gone.
Oh, that's right.
No more
Fuda gone.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Woo!
So I saw
ahead,
a spot on Sportsnet where they were talking about trades and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
And one of the things that got brought up is the LA Kings might be in the market for a dynamic left-handed defenseman.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you guys think the Kings can target, and what's the price?
Hold on. Why don't we set the standard here for what we all considered to be a dynamic defenseman?
I'm thinking somebody like Zach Werenski.
I'm saying more like the skill set. What skill set should this left-handed defenseman have
like
for the Kings?
Like a Zach Werenski, Rasmus Dahlin. Like
I was telling you to be specific, you dumbass.
He skates good and shoots the puck good. Like,
He knows how to break out pass.
I don't think we necessarily want someone that's going to – well, I mean, obviously you want someone who can shoot the puck, but I think that's a secondary priority because, again, look, we have Drew Doughty who can at least set shots up, right? And if
Drew
we're
Doughty is dynamic.
What?
Thanks, Alex, for trying to make a point. That's all I'm going to say.
I'm offended. I have nothing else to say. I'm muting my mic for the rest of this segment.
You think Drew Doughty is as dynamic as fucking Zach Werenski or Rasmus Dahlin? No.
I don't think we're gonna get a Zach Werenski or Rasmus Dahlin. I think that's living in a pipe dream.
I think we can.
I don't think I even understand what the term dynamic means and shit.
You know exactly what it means, bro.
Rasmus Kupar.
Who has even said the players are open for business?
What a surprise! The Avs name has been roped into that because I've heard people saying that they're looking at Sam Gerard.
Thank you. The Kings are out there just shopping out names. getting fillers on stuff. The Kings want somebody to man the second unit power play, but also can play with Doughty and move the puck, man.
How funny that I thought that was Alimata for a second.
Oh, fuck no.
How funny. How fucking
Because
fucked
you
up.
didn't explain it, Zach. He thought it was Alimata.
Yeah, Alimata's dynamic, guys.
Yeah, bro. It's like, that's why we got him, right?
No, but I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, all right, maybe not even to play with Drew Doughty, but like a left-handed defenseman that's in the same breath as like a Kel Clegg. Like when you think of Kel Clegg, you think of a dynamic defenseman, somebody who's all over the ice, has hands, can shoot the puck, can fucking skate real well. Maybe not the biggest guy out there. He's not going to lay bruising hits and stuff like that. Not all right.
Not a top pairing guy. Not like your best defenseman, but someone
like a Vince Dunn.
Yeah, like a Vince Dunn,
or somebody that's not a defensive defenseman, man, like a stay-at-home D.
Honestly, man, if we're talking about, I feel like we're just shooting too high on these names. But I feel like a guy like
you
Vince
mean
Dunn,
dynamic?
I feel a guy like Vince Dunn is more attainable than anything.
Especially considering he wanted out.
Yeah, the guy already wants out. He's still very young, so he'll click into the unit that we have.
St. Louis doesn't have a lot of prospects either.
Well, exactly.
Shoots the puck well.
Mm-hmm. And they need center depth in the future. So why not package? I'm not saying Akil Thomas, but like an Akil Thomas caliber prospect, straight 1-for-1 trade for Vince Dunn, who's only 22, 23 years old.
Now listen to this package, dude. Listen to this package. This is what
dude,
and he has pulled up things and said things to us that eventually became true. So I mean, I hold on one second. I'm trying to find it. It's from Wally, dude.
Yeah. All
right. Let's say Buffalo calls us and says, we'll give you Darlene, but you got to take Skinner's contract and in return give them Mata and one of Kempe or Iafallo. Would you guys do it?
That trade is so one-sided, even with us taking Jeff Skinner.
What?
Rasmus Dahlin is going to become one of the best defensemen in the NHL in 5 years.
But Skinner's contract is on the books for like another 7 years and
27, I think.
I think the nice way to call that contract is a fucking albatross, dude.
And
that's what the fuck that contract is.
Right, but here's the thing, dude, is we have a lot of players that over the next 6 years are going to be on ELCs or signed to affordable bridge deals. And these
do you know how much cap space we're going to have at the end of the season?
I think we're going to have.
So
it's like
going to have quite a bit.
I get it.
40 mil.
I get it. But I'm saying from Buffalo's perspective, yes, they unload their $9 million contract on Skinner, right? We could turn around in 2 seasons or 3 seasons and we can buy out Skinner, eat that $5.6 or $5.7 million cap hit for however many years. We'll be okay. But the issue is what we're sending back, is that worth say we remove Jeff Skinner from the equation, right? Like the contract itself, just Jeff Skinner, the player as he is. Player for player, does that trade make any sense to you?
No, absolutely not. But you got to figure that much cap. Yeah, you got to figure that much cap space is worth a first-round pick, dude.
Financial counts.
It was who?
You're saying for them to add a first rounder.
You missed it, Berkey. So me and Dave do a Kings podcast called the Los Angeles Hockey Podcast, and the guy that does it with us, he's super smart with this kind of shit, dude. Super smart with cap moves, whatever. And he said if Buffalo calls and says we'll give you Darlene, but you got to take Skinner's contract, and in return we give them Mata and one of Kempe or Iafallo, would you take that?
Oh man!
By the way, that contract's $9 million until 26-27.
I would take it just because.
Was that like 8 years?
Darlene's going to be one of the most polarizing defensemen in the league. Just Buffalo is not going
my
to.
opinion.
Alex is arguing with us because he thinks that trade is like super, super one-sided.
I would go for Eichel before I go for Darlene.
But the Kings are looking for a dynamic left-handed defenseman.
But I mean, it's tough. I wouldn't touch Skinner's contract with this.
Is it hold on? Let's do this. Is it as one-sided as Alex thinks it is because of that contract?
I don't think it's one-sided. You guys are misconstruing my point. I think
that's what you said.
You're really putting Darlene really.
I am putting Darlene up here. I don't think
He's putting that pussy on a pedestal.
I don't think there's a situation where Buffalo looks at Adrian Kempe and fucking Ollie Mata and goes, "Yes, this for our top defensive prospect. I'll take."
I think they go. Oh my God, we now have $9 million cap space to sign whoever we want. As
you have to add something more to,
and we can re-sign Taylor Hall and another defenseman.
It's not enough. It's not enough for
he's
a player
franchise.
Like
has he even proven?
Sabres that are a playoff team, right?
Have they even proven that they're a franchise defenseman?
He's having a bad year this year, but other.
I think Darlene.
Look at him season. Look who he's surrounded by.
I understand that.
I don't know if that's fair.
For me,
it doesn't matter. A franchise player will fucking
rise
do what he needs to do.
Yeah.
This, I don't know. This one, the way that your wording is a little bit different. I think Darlene, I agree with Alex at that point, but at the same time, where Buffalo is, this is 2 straight seasons now that, oh, hey, we're going to turn the corner. We're going to be a playoff team. Doesn't work out. They got Jeff Skinner tied up $9 million for another 7-8 seasons, whatever it is. Healthy scratch. Not doing shit. He's got 1 goal in 14, 15 games, whatever it is. I mean, what do you do at that point? Like, maybe even if you toss something else their way, sometimes you have to look at it like, okay, well, this didn't fucking work out, and we need to get away from this contract. We're obviously not going to be winning anytime soon now, but maybe we have the cap space to get some players. Like like you said, if Taylor Hall, maybe you can go and re-sign him now. If you want to keep him with Eichel, you can go find a veteran defenseman if that's what you want with all of that cap space available. Does it make the most sense? Maybe not. They want to get away from that contract. That's the thing. Zach's not saying Buffalo has to do this. He's saying if Buffalo wants to get from under that contract,
they're going to have to pay.
Say to the trade? They're going to have to pay. That's what you have to do. You can't say, let's take that contract away from Jeff Skinner. That contract is attached to Jeff Skinner.
It's called it's called weaponized cap for a reason, bro.
It really is called that for a reason.
But
100%.
All right. In reality, though, I think the more likely targets are maybe someone like Sam Gerard, somebody like Zach Rowinski, somebody like Shane Gostisbehere, Vince Dunn. I think those are more realistic targets the Kings can look at. And
they can give up a lot. They could give up a lot less, I guess.
I think
Rowinski
is going to cost a lot more than any of those guys.
But I think
Werenski's a tier higher.
But I think Werenski's going to be fucking worth it, though, dude.
But is Columbus willing to move a guy like Werenski when their top D pairing is him and Jones?
They're willing to move a guy like PLD. I know he forces.
But PLD, but that
doesn't matter.
PLD, no,
but I think Columbus sees the writing on the wall, and they're not going to be.
But also look at what the return for PLD was.
One of the best snipers in the game.
Yeah.
One of the most inconsistent, but yes, one of the best snipers in the game.
But Zach didn't say we're going to combine Apollo to get Werenski. We have to give more.
Okay, but if we're not going to give more for Darlene, regardless of the Jeff Skinner contract, if we're not going to
get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense. So we're going to trade an inconsistent top 6 forward who's been good this season so far, but an inconsistent top 6 forward across his career, and a dog shit D-man that we can't trade for a bag of Doritos right now for Columbus's second, if not first best D-man behind Seth Jones. It doesn't make sense.
But especially it was the same trade deal. It's not the same trade deal for that. You can't do that. The only reason we'd be able to do that for somebody like Darlene is for literally taking on $9 million of cap space.
This is so true. That's the fucking.
If you're
that's
dealing
the rub.
for Werenski, you're dealing with prospects and you're dealing with actual talent.
If we're talking about
taking on $9 million of cap space, he can be as upset as he wants. But if you're trading literally just for Werenski, you're trading a value, you're trading prospects, you're trading picks, whatever it is.
We're talking about
if you're trading for Darlene, you're weaponizing cap because you could take on that $9 million contract. It's completely different scenario.
And then what ends up happening with Skinner? So let's say that goes down and he comes to LA. Is he rejuvenated? Is there a place for him here? I don't personally see it, but like I don't know. Change of scenery usually works for a guy.
It does. It worked when he went to Buffalo.
Right.
It hasn't worked out this season, but Skinner looked really good when he first went over to Buffalo. Again, they haven't done. Yes, they brought in Taylor Hall, but as a team, they still have goaltending problems. They still got defensive problems.
What's up?
We're back to Rasmus Dahlin.
No, okay, so he tried to compare. Hold on, you missed it because you were on the phone.
Yeah,
he was trying to compare and think you were saying that if we were trading for Werenski, it was the same deal, and I was like, "There's no way. If you're dealing for Werenski, you're dealing with prospects, picks, value." Yeah. The only reason you said that for Dahlin is because it's contract.
And then I asked the question. Okay, so let's say for instance this happens, right? Where does Skinner fit in the lineup? Let's say potentially
second line.
Yeah, I think that's what we were talking about. We were talking about, does he come to LA, get rejuvenated? It worked when he went to Buffalo. Buffalo, yes, they've done some things, but it just hasn't clicked. It has not clicked what they've been doing. You go somewhere where LA, they make it work.
The Kings get 2 to 3 years of serviceable contract out of that, and then they fucking buy him out.
Yeah, they figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
They just buy him out. I mean, it's simple as that, bro.
Wally posed such a great scenario right there because it's something that does seem very feasible when you look at what's being exchanged, right? We're gonna give you this value right here, and you're gonna give us the shit essentially on top of the value.
Yeah,
it's interesting.
Agreed. Where did Alex go?
He was pissed because we called him stupid.
I don't know. I'm 50 on. He was pissed, got up and left, or Sam came home and he got up and walked away.
I think Sam came home.
So I don't want to say.
What were you drinking this weekend, Daniel? Or what were you drinking for the show?
Oh, hold on. Before we do that, we have been talking about the Kings, but I want to make sure we hit that they did go 2-1-1 on the week. Quick, absolutely monster. Continues to be really, really good. He allowed 3 goals on 61 shots, a 1.53 goals against average, and a shutout this past week. Not the most ideal week, but
lights out, man.
He's playing great.
Lights out.
It's so crazy. He's made some of those very athletic saves too. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but like he's gone from post to post. He hasn't lost very much. I think the extended time off and him splitting time with Cal it has really benefited him. And,
he looks 28 again.
Yeah,
you know what? I don't want to say it, but like he may have raised his trade value.
I don't think they'll trade him.
I think
you don't think a team that's on the verge of a Stanley Cup would say, I want a veteran guy to come in who's won it under dire circumstances, 3-0 to the Sharks. How many games? They played 21 games, or they played 21 games to get to the fucking Stanley Cup Finals in 2014. Like, you want a grizzled vet like that.
Oh, of course. I think people would want him. I'm just saying, we've talked about trading quick, but I think now that we're where we are, we already talked about it. I think we got to hold on to him almost to expose him.
Yeah. Not only that, though, but also, too, though, like, we're not just going to give him away. You know what I mean? Like, at this point, we're not just
I guess that'd be my next question. I guess that'd be my next question is what would a package for Quick, like what would be enticing for Quick?
There is no package.
I don't think any teams would be interested.
Maybe Buffalo.
He's had a good run, but you're expecting the wheels to fall off eventually, and no team wants to take that risk, give up assets for that. And
especially
I
at $5 million for 2 more seasons. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's tough. But
mind you, I am a bit of a homer.
If I'm Rob Blake and somebody calls me and they say, what would it take to get Jonathan Quick? I'd say at least a 2nd round pick.
That's fair.
2nd or 3rd, yeah, around there.
Damn.
What were you expecting?
Well, I mean, if it's a team, here's my thing: it doesn't make sense. Like, you could, if it's a cup contending team, someone that's high in the standings, they're gonna get a bottom tier pick anyway. Like, why would it matter
It's gonna be a
for?
bottom. Yeah, you're
You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like,
depends on-
You can almost
it's gonna be if they win
it's
the
gonna be a
cup, for
stretch, but you
instance.
could almost ask for a first if you're talking about a team because it'll be a back end first round pick. That's what
It
I think. you're
depends
saying, right,
on
Dave?
where the Kings
Yeah,
are.
it's exactly what I'm saying. Yeah, if they were to trade to a cup contender or eventual Stanley Cup winner, it's gonna be 20. It's gonna be like picks 27 through 30. Like it's not a big deal for some of these teams. You're gonna get a Tanner Pearson. You're gonna miss out on a Tanner Pearson.
I was gonna agree. I'm gonna agree with whatever you're gonna say right now.
It depends on where they are. If they're fourth and they look like they have fourth locked up in the division, why would you trade them?
Yep.
If you're
exactly.
if they're in seventh or sixth and they're looking like, Minnesota's
For
playing
sure.
really hot, we may want to shed that a little bit. Maybe try and recoup a draft pick from him instead of losing him for nothing. If they do decide to take him in the expansion draft, you could see it that way. It's just, if they're winning, keep them. If they're losing, try and sell them.
Yep.
For
But
whatever
if you want a first round pick, dude, you're looking at least 50% salary cap retention, which the Kings can do. I mean, that would only be like 2.5 mil.
Right.
Yeah.
Which
Especially
the Kings
for a
can.
team like the Avs. Like, that's the thing about the Avs. Francouz has been injured all season,
I know.
and we get thrown around. Our name gets thrown around anytime a goalie goes on waivers, a goalie gets trade offered, and
So let me ask you a question then. What would be the price for Sam Gerard?
Yep, that's what I wanted to ask next. Yep.
Sam Gerard, definitely a roster defenseman and mid-tier forward prospect.
So what if
Strand?
So what if Rob Blake hits up Joe Sakic and says, "I'll give you Ollie Mata, Jonathan Quick with 50% salary cap retention, and like a second round pick." You don't think he'd take it?
No, hell no. Sam Gerard is so important to the Avs. Unless it is a blockbuster deal, a la Sidney Crosby, I don't see Gerard.
It'd have to be like a Walker. No, my fucking.
I don't-
wrong tree here.
There's nobody on the Kings decor that I would really
Yep.
trade for.
Yep.
Yeah,
And the Kings
that's tough.
don't have any left-handed prospect
No, we don't.
left-handed prospects that are
Because
just
the
like
Avs,
dynamic.
the Avs would need someone to play. Like, they would need a roster player right
Immediately.
now in return. Yeah.
Yeah. Of course.
they just
Fuck,
don't.
man. Yeah, it would be almost. Yeah, it just wouldn't work. The players, the personnel would just not work for the Kings.
I could see-
to make that trade.
I can see you guys going for Ryan Graves, whether you want him or not. That's up to you. But
No, like I'm right here.
that'd be the
Nope.
only guy.
Dude, Ryan Graves is Kevin Gravel of 2021.
He was awful tonight. Let me tell you that. He was a
-4
-4 and
that is
on
a
Wow.
painful thought.
Hey,
That is
man, I
very
didn't like that,
Bro,
bro.
I love Kevin Gravel, dude. Glassing out, baby.
You're like one of 6 people that were a fan.
I loved him.
feels bad for all the people that took Graves in their fantasy because like ESPN had him ranked like number 60. Feels bad.
Feels bad, man.
Hey, shout out to my shitty ass fucking fantasy team.
I have forgot to set my lines all week.
Forgot the last 3 weeks, bro. It's been shit.
It
don't matter. I have shitters
the
anyway.
first 2 weeks, and now I don't care. Honestly,
I have shitters. It really doesn't matter. I have
That's the
nothing
way
to
that
trade.
I am with fantasy, dude. That's how I am with fantasy, bro. Like
you care the first couple weeks, and then you just lose interest. Unless it's a money league.
That's why I play for money normally, but nobody wants to play hockey for money.
I don't want to play with 20 fucking people for money, dude.
No,
especially
I'm
this
talking
year
about
where there's injuries.
I'm talking about our normal one.
Yeah, if it was a normal
I'm talking
NHL
about our
season, I would be down.
Yeah, so would I.
No, this season I get it. I'm saying, and I'm talking about our normal 10 to 12 team league that we play in, the one that we've been doing for like 5 years, 6 years.
Sudden Death Kids, yeah.
Yeah, not that 20, the one we're doing for NZ. That was something new. We're trying something out. We're just doing straight points. It's been fun though, just like everybody competing instead of.
I don't want to do it again.
Fantasy hockey this year is tough.
Never again. Over.
So Daniel, what did you drink on tonight?
What did you drink on? Okay, fucking Blimbly.
Yeah, Bimbly.
Bimbly.
Did you at least hear the sheer stupidity that came out of that with me last night, Daniel?
Oh yeah, I was watching most of it.
About
Zach
me in the
improv
bush.
the bush and the fucking stick.
That was gold. Zach
Hilarious.
improving the bush was probably my favorite part of that whole session, aside from Drake almost killing himself.
I'm not gonna lie, like I was super intimidated about playing this game and about like improving.
You were
and
being
stuff
so
like that.
silly, dude. It was awesome.
About improving, but honestly,
You did way
dude,
better
like,
than I did. I did the same way. I told Drake the same thing. I said the first session or two, I was
You're
kind
pissing
of
your pants.
no, not that.
Daniel's
I was
role
very
play.
quiet. I was trying to learn. I was trying to sit
Daniel-
back and learn first.
Daniel's role play his first session was there's a door in front of you. I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it. And Daniel's response to almost everything was I'm gonna shoot an arrow at it.
No, not for the door. I would say no. My response was, "What do you guys think the best thing? I've never done this before."
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys.
First
Can I
puzzle-
roll this?
but
first
see,
part-
here's
puzzle we came on was exactly that. I've never done this before. What do you guys think we should do?
here's my key to success right
I'll
here,
follow.
dude. Is I literally have no filter, dude. So while I'm talking, I don't even know what's coming out
You're
of my
off
mouth.
the cuff.
While I'm talking, I don't know what I'm about to say next.
I will say this: the two best moments
Jeremy,
was
hold on. I will just say
Bimbly
this. Jeremy's
behind
really good.
oh yeah,
What was
He
that?
explains everything. Jeremy's
he's the
really
best.
good at
Phenomenal.
explaining it.
Phenomenal.
but the two best parts of that whole fucking show was fucking you hiding behind the bush with your stick, and then Angela standing behind all of that shit, and then Drake fucking intimidating that person for no reason.
Shooting a lightning bolt.
So
in
lightning-
the trees.
He can't use that anymore, right?
Once
Not till
per
next
Use
session.
it once per day.
Yeah.
Okay, but what a fool! He just,
Honestly,
that's all I'm
dude,
gonna
and
say.
then
I love that guy. I want
and
to give him a
honestly,
shout
dude,
out.
like I thought, like when he was like, "I'm gonna go up to this thing and protect my dad," I'm like,
I thought he was gonna
"This
die.
was this was trying to get killed his first fucking session, bro. Like this
Yeah.
guy doesn't want to do
Yeah.
this no more."
Yeah. That's why I was hitting
He
up
just doesn't know. That's what I was saying. Like he actually did more because for me it was just like I'm gonna follow. I'm gonna try to learn. And he was just like fuck it. I'm gonna try to do this. I was like no, I want to survive. I want to figure out how this works.
Oh shit!
God bless his heart, man.
So what are you drinking, Daniel?
I'm drinking Quarantine Machine from Smog City. It's a West Coast style IPA. Simcoe, Laurel, and Mosaic hops. Alex's favorite.
Yes.
That
was facetious.
Yeah, I know. So this is, I think it's 6.5%. It's, a typical
I don't do
IPA.
numbers.
Yeah, 6.6, sorry. It says Quarantine Machine IPA was created out of necessity, a catalyst for creativity and reimagining how we live, work, and play. With notes of tangerine, candied lime peel, and gummy bears, this is the
Holy
beer.
shit.
This is the beer you want by your side after a long day of pivoting. It's really good. I actually like this. I like this.
I don't get
Have it?
what do you mean pivot?
Well, pivoting because we had to pivot on our work daily and live, work, and play life. Quarantine
Heard.
machine. We had to figure it out. It's pretty cool can art actually.
What about you, Dave? What'd you have for tonight?
I had all these.
I like it.
What's your choice?
I had all those. Too,
Honestly,
but that was my choice.
This was my favorite of the night. Mo Diggity. It's a West Coast IPA. We've been talking about that recently.
Dry
100
hop, man.
Mosaic.
Oh yeah, it's all
Nice.
Mosaic, baby. And then I got this LeBron
Nice.
Haze, which is good. Hey, I wanted to give a
I
shout out
haven't
real
had that
quick.
one.
This is actually whatever.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's
a hazy.
the shout out to The Rock for his tequila. I had some of that at this place called Javier's. That shit was the best. I can't remember what it was called, Termana or some bullshit like that. But
yeah,
it
I've
was
seen it. It's really good.
fantastic. I suggest you get a bottle.
Oh, is that when Alex got introduced to Tequila Dave?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
you mean Eric Andre.
It was there was a
fun.
Diplo song playing. I don't remember.
So I'm kind of torn, man. So
What's
I have
up, Daddy?
this, and this is what I'd pick to be my beer of the week.
What is that?
Life is a bock of chocolates,
Ah,
and it's a bock.
Bach?
It's a Bach
With chocolate?
with chocolate, strawberries, with chocolate and strawberries.
Okay.
But the thing is, though, as soon as I fucking opened it, that thing exploded at me, dude.
That was the one that you had to chug.
Poured it all
Yeah.
over his dick.
Yeah, dude, all over my balls, just all over the floor. Like, I hated it, bro. I was pissed.
Covered the whole thing.
And then I had this, the Prairie birthday, the Prairie
The
Bomb.
bomb. Yep.
And it's a barrel aged stout with chocolate, or with coffee, cocoa nibs, vanilla beans, and chili peppers.
Spicy
then-
boy.
But then I remembered
Then I had
this beer that I had last night when we were recording Dungeons and Dummies. The Omer Gerd Slurshee marshmallow.
yes.
Yeah.
Slurshee.
I'm gonna rate
Which
the
one was
Slurshee,
that?
dude.
You're
The
right.
marsh.
What's
the
the
marsh-
rating
I have
scale?
that in the
Slurshee.
fridge. I have it in the fridge.
What's our rating scale?
Alex, what is our rating
No,
scale?
I'm gonna hand the rating scale this week off to Berkey.
Berkey,
yeah.
what's our rating scale?
So a
mind you-
scale of 1 to 10. What's like
yeah,
something
but it's
relevant that we've talked about
Yeah.
tonight that you would rate on a 1 to 10 that we could use as a scale?
Funny is preferred, but relevant is really just the
Funny,
big
yeah. I was just
for example, is like between 1 and Sidney Crosby is about to die from a concussion. Like,
yeah. That's actually not bad.
Yeah.
oh, the moan scale. We could also do that.
We
Daniel's.
did that a couple
Oh
years
yeah,
ago.
Daniel's moan scale.
Daniel's moan scale. It's up
Daniel's
to you.
moan scale.
A 1
that's good.
being Jeff Skinner's contract,
Okay.
and the 10 being Nathan McKinnon's contract.
Ooh.
Okay.
That's hard, man, because
I'm gonna rate the Irma Gerd Slurshee Marshmallow Edition, and I'm gonna give it.
Say I'm gonna give it again.
the suspense.
I'm gonna give it a Patrick Kane contract, which is right underneath Nathan
Okay.
McKinnon's contract, because Patrick Kane, obviously, his contract isn't the greatest. Or I mean, the AAV is not that bad. So I'm gonna give it to Patrick Kane because it was awesome.
I like that. That's
I
actually a
loved-
good fucking scale
I-
right there.
I loved the color of it, the texture of it. It was just up there, bro. So anytime I ever see an Irma Gerd Slurshee, whether
You're
it be
getting that.
marshmallow or
Oh,
something else, I'm gonna get it.
Oh, is that your first Slurshee, Zach?
Yep. No. I've had another one, but the marshmallow was just absolutely phenomenal.
Oh yeah. Dude,
I'm gonna
okay,
rate. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna rate. Since you went there, I'm gonna do fucking the Termana or whatever the fuck it was called. That tequila that I had was a 10. That is next level. It's gonna get me
Nathan
drinking
McKinnon
tequila
contract?
again. Yup, 100%. That is the best tequila I've ever had. We were drinking it on the rocks. I've never done something so stupid in my life.
Daniel, I'm gonna change your rating scale. Yours has to be on
Alright.
the moan scale.
Yeah, for sure. Only ever.
Fuck.
Ah! I had an
Well,
ingrown.
let's see. All right.
Wait, hold on, boys. Hold on.
What's that?
Oh, you're.
All right, Berkey, I gotta tell you the story. I don't know if we've ever told you the story, but me and Dave
Who
were
was
in a
that
party
man?
with. We were in a party with. Oh, you were there too, weren't you, Alex?
We were all there, bro. It was
Yeah.
like
All right. So, all right, a little backstory.
And there were a
Berkey,
couple of random people too. That's why.
this
think.
four right here are the OGs of like playing Chell like four or 5 years ago. This is before we played in leagues. But anywho, this was last year sometime. We were all in a party together with 2 other people playing Xbox or whatever. And Daniel's like, "Oh, like give me a second, I'll be right back." So
Well,
I
I'm
guess
drinking, by
I'm
the way.
muted.
we don't think he's muted, but either way, we hear like a clip, like someone's clipping their nails, and we hear, so from then on out, it's been Daniel. Are you clipping your nails over there?
Yeah. And then they look. No, you remember we talked about it. My mic was actually muted. I don't know what the fucking noise they heard. Anyways,
It could have been
one, I don't
It could
clip
have been
my
anything.
nails. I
I don't
like
clip
this
my
sound.
nails.
I don't like nail clippers. I hate the noise.
What do you do with
Like
them?
nails on a chop. I
He bites
bite
them.
them.
He bites his toenails off.
Oh.
No, I pick them. I pick them off.
All right, give us a moan scale then for your beer.
Yeah, I guess, you fucking weirdo.
Dude, I laughed so hard I
average.
farted.
By the way, it was average. So no, this is what I
No,
would
wait, what beer was it though? The one that you showed us, the Smog City?
Yeah, quarantine. Yeah, machine.
The quarantine.
Can we get you to give us a moan scale for Fall of Troy?
Oh, I did that already, did I not? I gave a 10 last time when we did the moan scale.
Yeah, but
It
we
was
need
like
to
a
know what it
9.
sounds like.
We need to know what it sounds like.
For the folks at home.
So you just get a
Yo, you know you know what I love?
Shit.
Every show we do of any type, you know what I love the most about the core group that we have here? Zach's laugh makes everything 4 times funnier than it really is.
True. Big facts.
like everything that is funny, when Zach laughs at it, it becomes hilarious.
No, that's not true.
Good.
I thought it was mine too. You guys talk about my giggles.
No, those are only in Xbox parties, dude.
Yeah, for sure.
I need to play chill with you guys soon.
It's so
dude,
feminine
you have
sometimes
to,
when
bro.
you giggle.
Yeah,
I love
Honestly, dude, like our parties when us
They're
four play
ridiculous.
together, it's stupid as fuck. Dude.
Back in the day, before any of us had egos, it was a mess.
Oh, it was an absolute fucking mess.
I don't have an ego. I don't like to be lumped into that bullshit. But
by Alex saying before any of us had an ego was before Alex had an ego.
Had an ego.
Well, there's 2 of us.
he's
now.
like, I'm making these guys look shitty in this league I'm playing. You just say shit like that to us all the time. I'm like, man, whatever.
I'm leaving.
Fuck
That
you.
was atrocious.
And then you hear down and you go.
That's funny, Dave.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
Thank you, Brad, for joining us again.
Hey, big shout out.
Big shout
Thank
out.
you for having me. I
Big
would have been
shout
a
out
little
to
bit,
us.
Taking it to the end.
This
would have
guy.
been a little bit
We'll have
depressed.
to have
because
you
of
on
the
in a
abs
couple
game.
of weeks when you can drink.
so
Yeah, 2
yeah,
weeks.
that'd be awesome. You
Yes.
can follow us on all of those socials down there on the bottom. Make sure to check out the NZ Hockey League, Neutral Zone Hockey League. We're going to be starting season 4 relatively soon. Also,
When's
you can
the
find
draft?
March
Sunday.
7th.
Sunday.
This Sunday.
Just ask
This Sunday.
Gio.
Wait,
Last
are we?
year.
Is that gonna fuck with our game? Or wait, we're not doing.
We're not doing.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
that's
doing
right.
Dungeons and Dummies this week, next week.
Okay.
Speaking of that, you can also find me, Dave, and Alex on Dungeons and Dummies. You'll find us every other week doing our session. And then also you can find me and Dave on the Zach and Dave Make a
Oh, there you
Podcast. Even though we haven't recorded in a while, there still
We're gonna
is
get
Zach.
someone. I want to get Jordan back on because
Yeah.
he's been fucking lighting it up on social media.
So Zach and Dave Make a Podcast. You can follow us there. Anywhere you want people to follow you, Berkey?
No, not yet.
Just
at least.
home.
Is there anywhere that
Yeah.
you show your tits?
Yeah, you know, like a
my
Discord where you show your
OnlyFans.
titties.
Berkey 95.
Berkey
Follow
95. So it's
Add me on
onlyfans.com/Berkey95.
So Berkey, Berkey, I need you to understand this. When you come on the media show on Thursday, we tarps off, dude. We have to be tarps
Of
off.
course, definitely.
Dude,
I just get an exception and they just make fun of me. That's what happens.
I am committed to being tarps off for every Neutral Zone Hockey League media show, dude. I will be tarps off.
That's fucking sick as fuck.
It's for the boys. But you know what they say, ladies.
You
and
know what,
gentlemen?
dude? I'll even come on. I don't even want to be on the show. I just want to show everyone my tits.
Okay.
Respect.
That's all
That's
the show
fair.
is.
Wicked.
you know-
I love you guys.
You know what they say, ladies and gentlemen.
What do
With
they say?
that being
Zachary?
said.
With that being said.
With that